Well, no, not you. You can.
Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Xbox Nation, roll out. Yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm sorry because we're having this really in-depth conversation in the pre-show. It was really kind of funny. So yeah, pardon my roll out. Pardon my unprofessionalism there. Welcome to another episode of Xbox Nation. We've got the whole crew back tonight, and man, very happy to have this man back, the governor, GKB. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? I had a pretty interesting thing on the way home. Like, some bitch tried to cut me off, and I called her all kinds of cool names, bro. I'm ready for this fucking show, let me tell you.
Oh, man, you're in the right frame of mind then, man. That's good. Florida drivers. Yeah, Florida drivers, right? You know what you should have been doing is doing your, well, I don't think you do that anymore, but your drive to work blog or whatever.
Oh,
that would have been cool.
Fantastic. You would have seen all kinds of sign language with like fingers and shit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That would have been absolutely amazing. We're glad you're back and refreshed and ready to kick it old school on Xbox Nation. And yeah, kick it old school. And we have She-Wolf. What's up? How you doing?
I should be the one apologizing for the unprofessionalism because I'm pretty sure everyone got only like my last line of that. So
they might not even have got that, just like us laughing because I couldn't stop myself from laughing, which usually pretty professional.
Possibly, it should be. We'll see.
When I was younger, I wanted to be an actor, so I was like, I prided myself on being able to like, do a little bit of acting and keep it together. Little case of the giggles there, but it's all good. That was a good intro, kind of laughter and stuff like that. We have a good time here, so I think people would like to.
Did you just tell everyone that when you were younger, you wanted to be an actor?
Yeah. You know what? That's almost as bad as the time I got drunk and told everybody I had a sword collection. Like, people were like, sword collection. Okay, we're going to forget all about that, right? And
all the swords you collected in Horizon Zero Dawn. That's
I've collected a lot in Horizon Zero Dawn because everybody's got a bum leg. And they're like, hey, that dinosaur ran off with my sword.
All right. In the game's defense, that was just the first bum. That was just the first bum that had you find something. But it is pretty much the same. Okay, come on.
Yeah, it is exactly, and I'm not going to hate on that game. It's a decent game. It's kind of fun, I guess.
Solid 8.
Yeah, solid 8 or 7.5, whichever. Potato. And we have Hell Hammer. He likes Metallica. What's up?
Not much. Glad to be here. I still scrolled over all these topics here because I just kind of went through it quickly earlier today. So.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure to have some good topics and did a little bit of research and stuff that was a little bit compelling maybe to talk about. Thankfully, we had that.
Bro? I need like a week to go through all these fucking topics.
I know. I know.
No, I think we need a month. I wouldn't say a week. I think we need a month just to get through the first half of it.
Like, everybody doesn't know out there. Like, he literally sends us like fucking 10 pages of fucking topics.
Well, okay, to be fair, some of these were ones that we didn't get to last week because last week I had all these topics and we literally hit 3. And then the show was over. Yeah, we were like roll out, and then that took up a good half hour.
Yeah, that was at least 45 minutes to roll out stuff.
It was, and then people were tweeting that all week. So yeah, I mean that was pretty funny shit though. And we also have back again, Space Dealer, Dealer Gaming.
What's that about?
That's his game.
That's his gamer tag.
Yeah. If you want to find that version of me, that's the Xbox Live version. Yeah. Welcome back to Xbox Nation, of course, best podcast on every single Wednesday. Nice to be back.
Right. Hell yeah. And we've got the one, the only, the Canadian himself. When he's not eating moose meat, he's talking on podcasts. Or when he's not eating syrup, he's talking on podcasts or something along those lines. Nukem. What's up, bro?
What's up? Roll out the barrel because we'll have a barrel of fun.
Roll out.
On Wednesday, it's number 1. Woo!
Oh, I like it. That's a good song. I like that. We should patent that right away and put that at the beginning of each show because that was absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys.
I think we should lay off the LSD before we start the show.
We are going to do it well. Come on, let's do it.
It's Noof. He's oh, you know what, Noof? That reminded me of that damn boss in Titanfall 2, the one that was clearly trying to sound like Schwarzenegger, and I was like, Noof does a better job.
Nobody knows that game, bro. Nobody bought that game.
Oh crap! What the hell is his name? Now I'm trying to think what his name is.
Who's that?
Ricky. His name is Ricky.
Ricker? His name was Ricker.
Was it Ricker?
Yeah, I think it was Ricker. Yeah.
Holy shit. Seriously? I just guessed.
Yeah, his name was Ricker. I know because it was the same name. This DJ used to be named Ricker down here, and he used to be like, hey guys, we got your mandatory Metallica coming up at 7. Ricker here. Yeah, and then I met this hot chick.
It's a small, like,
Jesus, I'm starting to wonder, like, if this whole panel isn't on the gamer drink that I was drinking yesterday. Because Jesus,
I heard about that. Yeah, like no,
Is that a plug? Is that a plug, She-Wolf?
She's plugging like their drink, their sponsored.
She's endorsing gamer drink.
We're not sponsored by it, but we are doing a review on it. But no, It made me so jittery though. Like I couldn't stop smiling or anything. I was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Did you take some tonight?
All right, just quick thing. You don't drink anymore. Don't do that. Anymore.
Yes, unless you wanted to before this show. Because that would be great.
Well, I didn't. GKB did. He's like, I think I need enough.
Fucking
so.
Yeah.
So it's basically just pre-workout for nerds.
It's fucking cocaine. Yeah. It's fucking cocaine, bro. I'm like,
cocaine. Okay, so guys, Destiny 2 officially announced. So we know that. The bad part is, and I know you guys, a couple of you are Destiny fans, GKB, She-Wolf. Year-long exclusive content again for the PS4. What the hell? I kind of did a video about this that went live last night. I got the first time, right? The consoles had just come out. Sony literally had jack shit to put out there on their console. That was that year where I think they had nothing for the holiday. So it was like Destiny 2 time content, and all the Sony fanboys were like, we get that fucking cool gear or whatever, some kind of strike or something. I don't even know what it was.
The DLC handkerchief.
Yeah, so it was like stuff. There was DLC that was on both discs or something like that, but they actually got content. They actually got more. So it was like us Xbox fans were paying the same amount for much less content, and in some cases, didn't they up it to like 2 years or something like that, right?
Towards the end there,
yeah, I don't even think we got it yet, have we?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
We still haven't got some of that content?
No, I believe we haven't, actually. Unless it just came in this last update. Because there is, like...
from what I've seen and heard, it's not really anything to really want. Like, it's literally just, it's shovelware type DLC, like horse armor.
Horse armor, huh?
That's kind of what, like...
weapons, strikes, and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, nothing too important. It's not like it ruined my fucking...
If you didn't know it was there, you would never know it was there, right?
Yeah, exactly. You didn't have it, so it's not like you wanted it or anything. It wasn't there.
No, but it's just nice in the long run because, that's kind of what Destiny is. When it comes down to it, it's kind of about, like, the gear, the guns, and the strikes that you're doing because it's a grind game. So to have it in the PlayStation... does kind of suck, but like you guys said, it's not like you're going to miss it if you don't really have it. It's not like a huge thing.
Yeah,
but it's not like story content or anything.
No, it's just gonna be like fucking the same thing, like weapons, strikes, and all that kind of bullshit. It's anti-consumer. Like Xbox fans paying the same amount of money as PlayStation fans. That's kind of sucks and shit like that. But at the same time, like there's an argument to be made, like they didn't get to play Rise of the Tomb Raider for a fucking year either. So it's not really a big deal at the end of the day. It's business.
Well, Microsoft helped to fucking develop.
Yeah, that was the point.
It's still like tomatoes and tomatoes. Like,
Yeah, well, again, that was the point that I made in my video last night as well, which was Microsoft helped fund Rise of the Tomb Raider, and like I have no problem with that. Sony helped fund Street Fighter V, so I have no problem with that. But specifically with this, I don't know. Like to me, it just kind of bugs me, and I guess like it kind of bugs me because I can see what Sony's doing. Like it's clear as day what their plan is to go up against Scorpio. I'm just surprised nobody else has really kind of mentioned this, and that is to. Well, what they're doing is, to Sony's point, what they're doing, in case you guys haven't noticed, Sony is completely buying up the rights to the marketing rights to all the major AAA games for this year, for this holiday. They've done it. They own Destiny 2. They own Red Dead Redemption. Both those September games.
They're really big multi-plat games.
Yeah. Supposedly, I mean, there is a rumor that maybe not Call of Duty, which we'll touch on later, but it's looking like that they might have Call of Duty as well. Yeah. And now I'm hearing that they have some kind of deal for Battlefront 2. Those 4 games would basically, and this is what happens. They're going to get content for each of these, but at the very least, what's going to happen is it's going to prevent these games from being shown on Scorpio. So what does Microsoft get? They're going to get like these scrap heaps. It's like, and I was talking to someone today about this. I was like, yeah, well, Scorpio is all great and good, and I'm excited for it. But what about the masses? They want to see Destiny at 4K. I mean, they want to see Call of Duty at 4K. They want to see Red Dead or, these awesome graphics. And with Sony having these marketing deals, you're likely not going to see that in any advertisements. You're not going to see that in...
Well, especially though... Well, especially when, a lot of the games that are supposed to be going to 4K are actually going to be releasing pre-Scorpio. So these games,
Supposedly.
I'm talking about like Shadow of War and, the games that are actually going to be up-res after the Scorpio releases. But these games that are coming out in the fall would have been around the timeline of the Scorpio, which would then actually show people something fresh and new at the 4K experience instead of people having to go back and play a game that they've already probably beat because no one's going to wait just to see an up-res game.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just going to be simple up-reses, right? I mean, I get what you guys are saying, right? Marketing deals are marketing deals, and it's all about perception. There's still people to this day that think Destiny isn't exclusive to PlayStation, right? But at the end of the day, the first Destiny got good support on Xbox One. I mean, they even sent a team there to help them get it up to 1080p. Battlefield 1, I mean, people still bought it on PlayStation. It didn't matter if it was marketed. They're going to buy it where it performs best, and no matter what they do, it's going to perform better on Scorpio if any developer applies themselves. The power gap is simply too big in regards to bandwidth as well. So I just think where the games perform best, that's where people are probably going to pick it up.
I disagree because like you're gonna see like YouTubers and all that kind of stuff because they're getting a DLC first. They're gonna be showing it on the PS4 because that's where they're getting all the DLC.
Destiny DLC,
and that's where
you don't have much idea of any other.
COD's gonna get it 30 days, prior if PlayStation has it and stuff too, and that's where all the guys are playing it right now, and that's where all the influencers are, and that's where people are gonna gravitate towards. They're gonna be like, I want to play it on PlayStation because I want to play the DLC and stuff early.
I guess. I don't know, man. I mean, if I was them, I would want to play the whole game the best that I could if I was a console dude, and that's not on PlayStation.
Yeah, but do you think like the gaming media and stuff is like that? Like, Sony has all the marketing rights and stuff, and they're just going to show the Scorpio version? They're not. They're going to show
it depends. It really depends, man. If Microsoft Scorpio is what it should be.
Honestly, I think they're going to show the PC. If these games are coming out on PC like they're supposed to be doing, like Destiny 2 is apparently supposed to be on PC, and if that's the case, I think they're going to end up showing these games on PC because that's going to give them the highest resolution that they need, not the consoles.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the media is all about like Sony and all that kind of stuff. There's just no way, and they're the market share. There's no way that they're going to show it on anything else but the Sony platform.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter where they show it, though. Yeah. People, just like Battlefield 1 last year, like they're still going to go for the best running version. Ultimately, even though it was an Xbox marketing deal, right? They're still going to go for the PlayStation version for Battlefield 1 like they did. So that's all I'm saying is, marketing rights, this and that. But ultimately, people are probably going to want to get it for the best performing console. Just much like the PS4 for the first several years, right? We've been through this before.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with me, right? I get it. Like, as a fan, and I covered this on BGST a little bit, this has no effect on us because we're probably all going to get Scorpio and play the games there. But just from a fan perspective, I want to see the thing do well. And I feel like they want to show off the games. And I remember the hassle where they couldn't advertise Destiny 1. And then, I mean, it did end up selling equally or more, actually, in America on Xbox One, which is good. And they are relatively close.
You remember when the beta went off for Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Like the PSN crashed in like 73 territories or some shit. Like it was fucking nuts, man.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it looks like Sony's going to get the beta again first, which is probably not really all that surprising, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I think that I don't know. I'm not a real big fan of this whole like kind of thing that Sony's doing with this. Like, let's keep everything off of Microsoft platform, and then let's let Microsoft have these other things. Because I don't know if the other things are impressive enough to really push. To really push the sales of the Scorpio alone. I think you do need some big titles to show off, right?
I agree.
What makes us think that they're not going to show it off on the Scorpio, though? That's the thing.
Well, they weren't allowed to show off like.
You mean like in advertising?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they don't show it running on Xbox Scorpio either. Like, if there's a game that has
like Battlefield 1 last year, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it was like I said, I think it's irrelevant when it comes to gamers. They're going to know which version performs the best.
I think
like for the public, right? For the casuals, right?
The casuals, not.
Yeah.
They're going to
for the people who are just the people who just go into a store and buy a game, those are the ones that are going to be like, oh, wow, this is a PlayStation exclusive, and I see it happen all the time. Like I've been in the GameStop, shortly after like Battlefront launched, and I seen people be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this because it's only on PlayStation.
You got any credit at that bitch? You better spend it quick before that thing goes under.
Hey, I agree. I just, it just seems like a little bit of a weird situation, in my opinion. You know what I mean? With just a whole.
Yeah, I think
let's try to get everything.
I think Microsoft should have went after a couple of these, like, or at least one of them. Like, if they do got like COD, like I saw your video, crap. I don't know if that's true or not. Or
I don't know either. Like, yeah,
they should at least like get Battlefront or something like that, because I think they need some of those big titles. Because if Sony goes into E3 with all these huge things, showing it all off, and Microsoft really is just showing like a teaser trailer of them and stuff like that. I mean, that's going to speak a lot in casual gamers and all that.
Well, I think it sucks. I mean, in general, for most gamers, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's really the hardcore people that it's going to make sense to, because as I say, an average Destiny fan, which I consider, I like the game, but it's not the be all end all. Like, I never really give a shit last generation, when the game came out, like, just because I'm one of those people, I have to really, really like a game to go and buy the DLC in the first place. And that's the other side. Like, when people that buy the DLC, especially at full price, they're generally the hardcore. They're the people that really like the game. So even if the install base or the game sells 20 million copies, I mean, there might literally be only 5 million people that buy the actual DLC packs for it. Most people kind of move on to something else and that sort of thing. But, Hellhammer is totally right, though. Like, and I mentioned this last night in the console corner. It's all about perception. It's what people see. It's for the average consumer walking into a store and seeing all the posters on the window representing that game and saying best place to play. It's on PlayStation, blah blah blah, and they get that mindset. If you're a first-time consumer getting ready to pick one of those two consoles, and you see Star Wars, and you're a big fan of Star Wars, and it looks like it's pretty much on PlayStation, where do you think that average person is going to spend their $300-400, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a really good point, because I remember Battlefront 1, there was these big PlayStation like cardboard cutouts, right, at GameStop, and you go there and it says exclusively on PS4, and then in little print it's like blah 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 this pack or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that's how they do it. And the same thing with Destiny. If you look at the fine print, it looks like Destiny 2 exclusively on PS4, exclusive content for up to.
But at the same time, though, I just want to add in that, like, when you have marketing deals, though, you also have console bundles that end up selling the consoles too. When you don't have them, you can't really make or at least we haven't seen previously. If you don't have the marketing deal, you don't get to make those custom consoles or anything like that to sell those consoles
for those games too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. It's interesting. I hope Microsoft has more than Lego games and some first-party stuff to show off on Scorpio.
Watch this new Lego game in 4K.
Like here's the other thing. Like I see, like even like marketing, and I don't know how this is done at the store level, like at your chain stores like Best Buy and stuff. But I think it was on one of the websites the other day, and they're advertising the games, right? And the game that you see front row and center is 95% of the time, it's always the PS4 version. And you see that little green strip in the back, and then underneath there's a little fine line that says also on Xbox One also. Do you know what I mean? So like even just from a flyer perspective, which has nothing to do with those deals signed with the games, but like I keep wondering like what's going on here? Why does it look like the PlayStation is the only one that exists here? Why do they constantly show those versions?
Well, the thing about that, though, is you have to look at the companies, too, because I do believe that most companies are also, say, marketed by certain consoles that are out there because, like, for instance, Walmart, if you watch commercials with them, you'll see a lot of times they'll be like, put my Xbox on layaway or something like that, and they'll actually show, like, those systems for, like, Black Friday and all that, where Target will show, like, Sony. So you have to look at which companies have which marketing deals with these consoles as well. Like it kind of goes farther than just social media.
I don't think it's as complicated as that either. I think one platform's just way out front, and marketers know that.
My mom actually works at Walmart. She was an electronic manager, and she actually says that she deals specifically with Xbox manager or not managers, but the reps for them because that's who Walmart is signed with.
Huh. They're signed with PlayStation?
No, Xbox.
Oh, okay. They're signed. I was gonna say
I wouldn't know it from going to my fucking.
But that's in Canada. I don't know what it is in the U.S. Not every store is the same. Like I will clarify that not all the stores are the same.
Brand-specific type deal. I think a lot of companies and brands they just associate with what's most popular. They did it last generation with a 360 as well. It is, it is what it is.
I think at the end of the day, I think Sony's making some decent moves, and picking up all this stuff to fight against the Scorpio hype, man, it is a smart play by them.
It's clever as fuck, is what it is. I mean, honestly, it's like, hey, let's take away all the ammo. They're not going to be able to show off these games running on Scorpio. So that was just
what can we do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's frustrating from my point of view, because it's like Sony's going to show these off on their big stage or whatever. You know what I mean? And Microsoft is going to be like, here's Minecraft. Yeah, I mean, if it's true, but we know for sure Destiny and Red Dead.
Hey, Minecraft in 4K.
I still think the word of mouth. I still think the word of mouth is going to be the #1 thing, just like with PS4.
I hope so, man. Like, and what needs to be done is the content creators out there need to really show these off and talk these things up. Sony tends to give out free shit to content creators a lot.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, content creators are going to be on the one that gets the new stuff first, man. Like, that's where they're going to be.
Some of them, right? Some of them. I mean, you're not going to say
the big ones, because that's what their channels all like.
Like if you're
like
a
big Destiny channel,
right?
COD guys, they're all going to be on PlayStation because they're going to get all that stuff early.
That's fine. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they're a very minute amount of people. I think a lot of people, even this generation, you'd be surprised. A lot of people are streaming on Xbox One just because of Xbox Live and the integration and how that works too. So I think word of mouth is king here. I really do.
It's all about clever marketing, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. Battlefront 2 trailer is going to drop on April 15th. I'm pretty excited about this. I like the first Battlefront. I don't think it lived up to all the expectations or hype because obviously
no
single player element.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, but it did.
You know what, though? I'm getting kind of annoyed with all these like trailers dropping so early. Like, why are they not holding these for
it's that
E3?
Star Wars event that they're going to be dropping. That it's like at the end of that event.
Yeah, and they're going to show
there's a couple
gameplay
like
this year
different
at E3.
ones. Like you have like Destiny's dropping theirs soon, like another trailer, anyways, not just their teaser. And then there's a couple of other ones that have come out and said, oh, in the next couple months we're going to be dropping these like teasers and everything else like that. It's like, why not save these things for E3? Like, why?
Because the games come out. The games are coming out this month. Like, they're not pulling Ubisoft, and they're to be applauded for that. They're releasing teasers this early because they're actually going to show you the game at E3, and you're going to get Destiny this fall, right? So they're going to show you gameplay. They're not going to show you a teaser and then show you the gameplay. They got to give you the teaser first, right?
Yeah. Well, and that makes sense. I just hope that the thing that annoys me the most, which is where I thought you were going, She-Wolf was, but you didn't, was that we get these games like, the first Battlefront came out, it was basically online only, no single player. Same thing with Titanfall 1. And then when the sequels comes out, they really kind of nail it. Like, although I don't think the multiplayer was as good in Titanfall 2, the single player was fantastic in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. And now Battlefront 2 is going to be like that more complete game. I can remember when I first got Battlefront 1, I paid $80 for the edition.
Do that, bro.
Yeah, just to get the Han Solo OPS gun. It was like
it was OP.
And you just go,
they knew it was OP and they sold it to you, bro. Like,
they did.
We have we know Zaz who like bought like everything for Battlefront. Like he was like, completely
ripped off.
He was so like he loves Star Wars, like completely loves it, and he was so destroyed when he started getting those the DLCs and stuff. He's like, this was a waste of goddamn money. He was so pissed off.
All the DLC combined with game that launched still wasn't the size of a normal game.
Well, they didn't even tell you what was in it. You literally had to like buy the season pass, hoping and praying that there's something good in it, just to turn out that there isn't. And then they kept talking about bringing a campaign that could possibly be a DLC, and then they never brought that. And it was a lack. And and I agree with Crap. Games keep seeming to do that, where the first one comes out and it's only half the game. But of course, they're trying to make money. And of course, we're dumb enough to buy these games. And then they release
Star Wars.
Game. Yeah. No, it's not even just that one, though. There's been other ones.
Yeah, well, you know what, like you said, like I bought it, and then I didn't get I bought the season pass when it was on sale for like $15 or something. And then I like, to its credit, like the Scarif, like from the Rogue One maps were pretty good. And so it was fun. But when you were first playing it, you couldn't even do a private lobby. The way that you have to like, why can't they get lobby systems right? Like that's a big flaw. It's like when you go to join a game, like the people, the people in your party have to click to accept it or whatever, or else they don't go in your game.
Well, it's rushed
like
as fuck. That's fine.
Yeah, like to meet the launch of the fucking movie, which I get. And now, like, I remember at that time, I was like, Microsoft is going to definitely win that NPD. And I remember Zaire going, man, Sony's got that shit on lock. they got that Darth Vader sticker on that thing. That thing's gonna sell millions, and it did.
Yeah, it did.
I was like, damn, I look stupid after
Star
that
Wars
because it
fans
did.
are fanatics, bro.
Fucking dude.
Fucking
and here's the
Darth
thing,
Vader
right?
stickers.
It is like Darth Vader.
It'll be like the
sticker.
final Scorpio design. It'll be a Darth Vader sticker.
Fucking EA
It's
can
gonna
make
sell.
EA can make like a Han Solo game where he's just running around in a fucking circle jerking himself, and they would fucking buy that shit like nobody.
I buy
What's
you.
worse about the sticker thing though is you were able to buy better quality looking ones on eBay for cheaper than buying a system with that on it. Like that's how sad that was.
It wasn't a really original design. It had like the red, the stripe going right through Darth Vader or whatever. I mean, that was kind of lame, but still, that shit sold a ton because it's the new Star Wars game and PlayStation. And at the time, you guys remember, there was like the Xbox One version is a blurry 720p or whatever. I mean, I shit you not.
You
You can look that up.
put a red fucking strip to the PS4 Pro and had Darth Vader on it, and every time the thing starts heating up, he's like, turn that shit down.
No, Noof. You know what you need? You know those coffee mugs that when it gets too hot, his lightsaber actually like lights up and stuff. They need to do something like that. So when it gets too hot, his lightsaber goes red.
Yeah,
You can really tell. You can really tell She-Wolf's tweaking balls right now.
yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
Hey, drink some more of them before you come.
I'm
to the
not
show.
drinking any of it though.
That's
GKB
right,
is.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
They're
just find
both
those
over there
things are funny.
sniffling like.
Yeah, this shit's fucking cocaine, bro. I'm telling you.
Those guys at EA, man, they sat around the boardrooms just like, you know what? Star Wars fans are pretty gullible. They buy just about any shit. I mean, because you look at the merchandise that's on the market for that stuff, and people will own just about anything.
Oh, yeah,
with
they'll buy it
Star
up,
Wars.
dude.
It's crazy. I mean, I love it too, but there's exceptions to the rule, and they knew it. Like you say, when people bring out these DLC packs and they can't even tell you what's going to be in it until the last minute, that's not a good sign. That's like a last minute, like, oh, we promised them 4 packs, let's put something out. You know, this is just like Jar Jar Binks strolling along. He needs a gunk in them. He needs to buy anything, maybe earplugs. Oh.
hey, easy with the Jar Jar hate, man. I love Jar Jar, man. I think he's badass, man. I'm on record as saying that, man. Jar Jar's the man. Although I will say, when I went and saw it, remember when they did the 3D episode 1 in theaters? I went and saw it again, and that was the first time I'd seen it in years. And he was a little bit more annoying than I thought originally, but still, I love the character. Think he's funny, funny as hell. Yeah. So Red Dead Redemption release date supposedly September 26th. Which is only a couple weeks after Destiny 2. You could look at like Sony fucking dominating September if that's the case, in my opinion. Yep. I mean, just that, if that comes out. I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on Red Dead 2? I didn't think it would come out this year.
I didn't think either, man. I thought it was going to get pushed back at least once. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be delayed just because of it coming out in the fall, and there's supposed to be this huge lineup for all these games coming out in the fall. So I actually thought it was going to get postponed. But hey, if apparently there isn't actually that many games coming out in the fall, I can see why it is coming out.
But September, like possibly having Destiny and Red Dead, that's gonna be
it's
gonna be really good for Sony. Like absolutely.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be good for Sony, but they're two different genres, so I don't really think they have to worry too much about one selling over the other because they don't need to compete at all.
But they're gonna put a cowboy hat on the PS4. People are gonna buy that shit. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, look,
I can see you buy that.
You gonna buy a fucking cowboy hat PS4?
You out of sticks, bro. You know you're gonna get it, bro.
I still think you guys are on some crack when it comes to this marketing. I get it, marketing's important, but the past shows you that Battlefield 1 fucking destroyed on the PS4, and it was completely marketed for Xbox. I'm just saying, the best performing version has a lot to do with it, and really, I think Assassin's Creed will be something Microsoft are partnering with this year. So
probably like that one time they did with Unity. Because nobody else wanted it.
Ubisoft's like, somebody want to partner with us?
Yeah, and Microsoft's like, yeah, okay. And then the game
that's
turned
probably
into
why they had to
it
take
still does look phenomenal, though, I will say.
That's probably why they had to take a year off, because they had to like figure out who was going to go with them.
They just had to fucking complete the game this time. That's
hard. I get like dealers' point about like the marketing and stuff, but if they're coming out in September and Scorpio isn't coming out until November, like Sony's still gonna own that fucking.
I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to underestimate the power of marketing. Obviously, Sony, that's how they got where they are. But I'm just saying that when it comes to specific titles, you can look at the past and see that it's not exactly everything when version performs better. So I really do think it's
want markets
is on Microsoft's side.
They want markets because certain games will sell well in the UK and they won't translate and do well over here. Like over here and generally in North America, like Call of Duty, again, it's almost always done better on the Xbox. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but like how did Battlefield 1 perform for the Xbox in terms of sales here in North America versus the PS4 sales? That's what I would really like to know because, like I said, man, I mean, I did an interesting poll just the other night there on Twitter where I said something about Mass Effect. I said, which console did you buy?
That wasn't a joke. My bad.
I didn't say wax my poll there.
Yeah, gotcha. Sorry.
No, he was too busy waxing Mike's poll yesterday.
Now you're going to start some weird rumors.
You started it yesterday. So.
But like, I did a poll the other day. Jesus, I got to get off of this topic here. This is starting to sound retarded. But on Twitter, I said, like, which platform did you buy Mass Effect Andromeda on? And I know, like, it's kind of skewed because most of my friends or people that I follow I know they're generally Xbox people. So, I take that into account. But 78% the last time I looked said for the Xbox One. Like, I was blown away. Like, I figured, it was probably going to be an Xbox outcome. But that high,
well, of course it is. I mean, you're on Xbox podcast, you're an Xbox guy, like who's going to follow you? So you know what's going to happen is Mass Effect is going to destroy on the PlayStation. They've got not only the better running version, but they got full pro support, and we've seen full skew in pros favor because people bought pro and they want to see what the fuck it can do, right? Unfortunately, they super sampled the fucking game instead of giving you ultra settings like morons. But still, they're going to buy it for the Pro if they got one.
Speaking of that, though, Mass Effect Andromeda actually runs kind of poorly according to Digital Foundry. Frame rate into the low 20s, no 60 frames per second option, even at 1080p. What is the point of this thing if it's not even going to give you a 1080 60 experience?
The CPU is too fucking slow, bro. That's the one thing that's going to separate Scorpio from Pro. If they do the right thing, you'll have 60 FPS in those types of games.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously, it has to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
if it doesn't do 60 on games much more commonly than Pro, I mean, you'll hear it from me first on the channel. Fuck this thing. They did it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot do that. You cannot have those same kind of fuck-ups, in my opinion, because Phil has been on record. He's like, they can use it however they want. We built this thing to run this generation's games 4K. You know what I mean? And hopefully it will
be a balanced system, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. So you cannot, like, Mass Effect would be a good one to run at 1080p 60, I think, because it's a good-looking game. And I think that the Scorpio update or patch or whatever will still make it look much better. Yeah, because obviously it's probably going to use, like, some of those 4K assets or whatever. And you can see, like, for the most part, when I was watching the comparison videos, the difference was, like, minimal anyway. Even between the PC, although I never really buy into those fucking comparisons anyway because they always show like a PC that's like thousands of dollars. They're like, oh, well, here's this fucking thing with 4 Titans, and here's how it looks against a fucking base launch Xbox One.
My PC does 4K 30 on Mass Effect Andromeda at high settings. And that's a $200 GPU.
Yeah, a lot of those comparison videos, they do use overspec things, but that's to make sure that they have a steadier frame rate. But I mean, you could run that stuff on Ultra all day on 1080p or even 4K on some fairly low stuff at 30 frames.
Yeah. Well, I hope they nail the 60 with most things anyway. Like,
I don't care about the resolution, man. The performance is where
that's been the number one shift I've seen so far since its announcement. Is people have gotten the Pro and they're like, "Fuck!" Like, I want. Yeah, they found out how important frame rate is. Really, they're tired of being stuck at 30.
Yeah, what's the point? Like, I mean, the PS4 regular was detailed as this 1080 60 machine, right? Get ready to hear these two words a lot together. 1080 60 game changer, right? I mean, that's what we heard. And then they couldn't even get any games of like their exclusives out at 1080 60.
The best thing about Andromeda on the Pro is they did better ambient occlusion, I do believe. They increased the detail there, that's some real good stuff there. But they stopped at one level. It's not on high or ultra or anything. They just raised it up.
What's that mean exactly? Because I'm not
everything looks more seated in the environment because the shading and stuff and the crack, everything just looks more realistic because it pops out. It's really hard to explain, but it makes the whole fucking game looks so much better, and that's a lot of the stuff we haven't gotten so far this generation because that's more of a higher end feature, right? And they actually have one level of that added to the Pro version, and depth of field, which is basically like that camera effect when you're zooming in, you're focusing in on something close to you, it's blurry in the background.
Yeah.
That's literally the only two things besides checkerboard rendering. And what they, they could have just done 1080 Ultra, right? Even if they couldn't hit 60, the game would look better at 1080 anti-aliased Ultra.
Yeah.
They just didn't do it. I don't know why.
Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, that is a little bit weird in my opinion, but I mean, again, it's like that thing's struggling. Even the base PS4, I believe, is still 1080, or no, it might be 900, right? Or is it 1080?
It goes as low as 900 in some of the cutscenes.
Okay, so basically 900 to 1080 and 30, and the frame rate was holding better on that than it was on the Pro, at least according to Digital Foundry. So I do think that that's a little bit interesting, and kind of that's the problem. Like you've said multiple times, dealers, the PS4 Pro is like a resolution box, and it doesn't even do that 100% correctly. So I mean,
I honestly, I'm trying to find anything that it does anything better. Like I don't see it at all. Like we were going back up better. We were going back and forth. Me and Stu, like, should we get the Pro? Because when we were looking at the PS4s again, and we were like, no, let's get the base model. And I'm so happy I did, because I just don't see like
you made the right
value.
choice. I regret it behind mine. So
every time you see an article online, it's constantly talking about how the game doesn't like hit this benchmark or that benchmark. Like you'd hope it was the other way around. Like 8 out of 10 games run magnificently, and there might be the odd one, but it's like it seems like it's the opposite way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Constantly reading articles like PS Pro can't hit this frame rate, can't hit this resolution. I'm like, what was the whole fucking point of it? Like, you're going to spend that much money to have how much improvement over your current console? I just don't get it. On top of that, the fucking system looks ugly, in my opinion. That's just me.
Well, they're just stacking shit on top of shit. So I mean, that's basically that's the problem.
It looks like fucking 3 weight scales out of your fucking mother's washroom that you just stacked on top of each other. She uses the top shelf to grab the fucking cupboards.
I got you there. I'm backing you up.
Okay, so in the chat, like, this dude's in there. Digital Foundry said the Pro had the most stable frame rate of any console version of it. Stop lying. Like, did you watch the video at all? Because it fluctuates between 25 to 30. That's not stable frame rates to me. I mean, that's
Digital Foundry actually said it has an almost identical frame rate curve as the base PS4.
Yep. So considering it's supposed to be so much more powerful, I'd say that's a bit of a letdown, in my opinion. Just yeah, so I think that's going to... Oh, and it looks like BioWare is going to announce how they're going to address Mass Effect Andromeda on April 4th. So they should really do that on April Fools. Get it? Oh, shit. I got one, two. Fuck you guys. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about the creators update. Went live today for everybody, I guess. This new dashboard update. It's super fast. I get it. I like it. But I missed the little preview thing.
I don't know. I got the update because this happened on the preview, and then now again I'm stuck here on the green boot screen forever, and I'm only able to get my system reset. So that's cool.
Oh, that's just you're gonna have to reset your console.
I can't even get this thing reset. They won't even let me boot into the recovery thing. So that's
you're gonna have to do the recovery thing.
No, it won't work.
Like you hold the buttons or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
I did that. It doesn't work.
It'll work. Trust me.
It'll brick, dude.
It's not brick. You know what's funny is he's using my backup Xbox One too. So yeah, his broke. So he's using my backup, and now he's bricked that one.
How did it hit?
Great.
When it comes to the whole update, though, I do think they're trying to push things that probably aren't really being used, like putting the clubs in the game hub and sharing all that on the front homepage. I find is a little useless because I don't find a lot of people actually use those kind of things. So I think they're trying to just get people to actually see and use more features that they've added to the Xbox, and I think that's kind of what this was more about.
Yeah, you know what? I get it. They were trying to limit the resources that were used. By the way, we got about 400 watching. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. If you're having a good time, hit the like button. If you're having a bad time, hit the dislike button. It's always good to know where you stand. And hopefully a lot of you motherfuckers are going to hit that like button. I know you are. Trust me. I know it. I got a good feeling about this, guys. Trust me. Those are famous last words, by the way. But can I say what's disappointing? We were told that there was going to be picture-in-picture, remember? And which it was going to replace Snap. And now Mikey Barr came out today.
That, or was that just like a rumor?
It leaked that was something that they were working on.
That's a rumor.
Is a rumor.
Okay, rumor. But we did see screenshots of it or whatever.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean? So, and it was supposed to replace Snap because Snap was a big feature in that, right?
Dude, that freaking overlay for the achievements is way better than fucking Snap ever was.
Yeah, you know, I do like the overlay. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that
people like Snap so they could do, because you can't. I don't do it, so I don't know if you could. You still actually can, but like watch TV and play your games at the same time and all that. Wasn't that what the Snap feature was for?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hated it. So.
Oh, you didn't like Snap? Like,
No,
you know,
I really
sometimes
didn't
I'll.
use that much.
Well,
it takes up like some of the gameplay, you know, and I'm just like, fuck it, just that was just annoying to me. That's why I like the overlay because it's just right there on my screen. I get to see the whole game and you know have a good time.
Yeah, if I wanted to look something up, like while I was playing a game, I'd just pull up my phone or laptop, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, okay, thanks for making me look like an asshole for being. But look, the whole one of the main selling points of this thing was the Snap, right? Like, I would use it. I'd watch podcasts and game at the same time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just a little bit, and that like fine. Like
you're on a Windows phone, so you're like watching stuff.
Fuck
on
you.
that, like,
yes, I'm still on a goddamn Windows phone. Yes, I am. Maybe I'll get.
Yeah, but I can understand why you would want that, because especially if you're like say you're playing on an actual big screen instead of just like a small monitor or something. But I don't think it got as much use as what they really thought people would, and I think that's probably why they took away the Snap feature and. Probably why they didn't actually bring back the whole picture-in-picture thing, because it's just probably not as relevant as they thought it would be.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I get it, because I have heard that when things aren't used that often, they fucking tinker with them and remove them and stuff like that. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but for me, it's just a little bit disappointing just for the simple fact that I kind of liked it. And not even that much. Like, okay, they take away that. I get it. But what about the big preview thing? Like, I liked having that there where you could back out.
The active tile?
The active tile. The big active tile, yeah.
I liked it. And it's really weird getting used to exiting out of applications now. It's going to take time. I think they know a lot of people are jumping on Xbox this year, so they want to get people... Yeah. They want to get it out now instead of later.
Screen looks I've heard, weird, but at least it doesn't look like a fucking library card, you know? Like,
yeah. Well, listen, like here's the thing. It used to have this big old active tile. Now you got this little tiny one. Maybe just make it slightly bigger. I don't know.
Hold on, they're not that small. Like, come on.
I think that pretty small. I think that where the active tile is now, when you're on the dashboard, it does look like it looks kind of odd now. Like even after like looking at it
all they show is literally like the picture of the game. They say the title of the game, and then the friends underneath it. Like I'm literally looking at my Xbox screen right now.
There's like a lot of big open space.
But like I said,
I think this is just the base for what is to be something that's really going to be expanded on and improved, you know.
But like I said, though, they didn't actually. What they did was they put like the game hub and they put the clubs and the share features and everything for that all in this one section instead. That's all
cool though. Like they kind of opened it up so you can see the background and stuff now, which I thought was kind of useless before. Like, why would I put a background up there? I couldn't fucking see anything with all the tiles in the way and everything like that. So
I
enjoyed the look of it.
I customized my background.
Yeah, so did I. Here's the thing. I don't mind the update. There's just a couple little minor problems. The two major problems I have is taking time getting used to the small active tile, and also whenever you fucking load up YouTube, it just locks up, and I gotta fucking back out and exit the application and go in there again. That's like I don't understand.
So is that more of just a user error than an actual Xbox error?
Do the disclaimer crap. You're in the preview program, you asshole.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. I
have no problems with YouTube, and I'm not in the preview.
Nobody in this chat, nobody in this room has ever had that problem.
I'm not in the preview program, and it still happens to me sometimes. To be honest,
you load up YouTube, and then you can't scroll anywhere. You're just like fucking. It's just locked. So you have to push the
I can't do anything right now because it's just stuck at the screen. So
I have a phone for YouTube. I don't use my Xbox for YouTube.
I really do think that's a problem because there are people in the preview program, and I say I have nothing but problems out of this thing. And I'm like, you're basically you're in a beta for what's an unfinished dashboard. Like you're gonna have tons of problems. That's why I dropped out, and I haven't had a problem since I dropped out of this fucking thing.
Well, people go into it to just get the the stuff early and stuff, and they don't understand that it's a beta.
Yeah, it's like your experience is gonna suck the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
it sucked the whole time. I actually I've been in it for almost from the beginning, and I actually don't have that many issues. Like I really
my shit wouldn't even
for
read
the-
discs. Mine wouldn't even read discs anymore.
Yeah, there was that. Like, and some games wouldn't even like run and shit. Like that was annoying as shit.
My Kinect was fucked up for a while after I did the last one. Like it didn't seem to recognize
They
you
do
have
warn you though when you join.
calibrate it all
Right?
the time. So I get
You know
rid of
how
mine
many-
too.
People ask me, crap. Remember when they were doing like you could invite your friends to the thing, and so many people would ask me to get invited to it, and I'm like, you don't understand how much problems comes with this, right? Like ever since
I
my
know.
You sure you want this?
You
Yeah,
know,
you
before
sure?
I actually met you on this whole thing, I actually emailed you to ask you if you could
No
invite me
reply.
because I saw your friggin' thing, and not
Crapgamer said,
once did
"Fuck
you
off."
ever friggin' send it, even though you emailed me back. You actually emailed me back and was like, "Oh yeah, I'll see what I can do," and then yet you
Huh.
didn't actually do anything. And I was
He's like,
like,
get
wow,
away, peasant.
thanks,
Leave me
Hold on.
you're
alone.
pretty much a
I
jerk.
couldn't do anything. Sorry.
Yeah, hold on.
It was funny though.
I don't remember that, but I do remember like a million. I do remember sending out 1 million invites for people. I remember
Well,
I
yeah,
had
because
that.
you like posted it on some Xbox forum saying, "Oh, if you want in, then just like message
up or
me
whatever.
here," and this is
Yeah.
how. So I'm like, "Oh, hey!" And then I found some random person on the forum that just like was nice
That
and actually
actually did
invited
it.
me, and then actually
Uh,
I got in. So I was like,
Damn,
"Wow."
random people.
You heard it here, folks.
Crap gamer.
Crap gamer. Hey, are you sure it wasn't a fake crap gamer?
I'm positive it was you because it was from you. You had
Hang on.
your,
How was it spelling? Was it all lowercase and stuff?
information, and that's
Yeah,
how
was
I
it,
had
if it's all
No,
if
he-
it's all lowercase and stuff, then it probably wasn't me. I don't
No,
remember.
it was your
doing
ac-
that on a forum.
you-
I think it was from your
you-
PR person because it's like, hey, I'm the albino rhino. Go fuck yourself. I think. it
No,
was-
it's not. No, it wasn't.
I seriously
Wow.
don't remember that, but I mean, it could have been me. Is it the crap gamer email account?
I have no idea.
It was linked to your YouTube channel. That's how I know it was you.
Oh well, that
So,
probably was. Who knows? I mean, a
you
lot
were
of people
just a
were
jerk.
messaging me. Yeah, I'm an asshole. What are you gonna do? Yes, I'm a complete asshole. I did invite a lot of people, like over 100 people. Like to my credit, I was getting asked. Like people were like,
I thought
"Please."
you said like 1 million. Now you're just 100. What is it, bro?
Well,
Come on,
okay,
bro.
exposed, right? Okay, well, listen, it was a lot. It was like 100 people, right? It was a lot of fucking people. I know that much.
Sorry, Sheila,
Um,
if you were 101. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, you were 101, and my cutoff was at 100. Sorry, but you ended up getting into that shitty preview program anyway, right?
Yeah, I've been in it, like I said, almost near the start. So
Yeah. So I mean, that's good. I guess. I want to talk a little bit about these
Wow.
games, these games that are supposedly native 4K launched games. Again, I did a video about this, but I would like your guys' input.
Bullshit.
Yeah, just
Kidding, I don't know.
well, I mean, I didn't say 4K 60. I just said 4K.
I don't know, bro. Just
Okay, so these are the
listen.
games that supposedly are going to be Scorpio ready when it launches. Like these games probably come out a little bit before Scorpio, but are supposedly 4K ready when Scorpio comes out.
Yeah, man,
Assassin-
never be 4K on that thing, on that Xbox.
You fucking troll. All right, these are all going to be 4K. Microsoft is going to show all you motherfuckers, all you people out there doubting Microsoft, doubting the Xbox. You're about to be proven wrong.
So
By
what
the mighty-
happens
I
when
hope so,
you're
bro.
wrong?
because
Well,
if it
then I'm
doesn't,
wrong
then you're gonna
if
have to
you-
eat some crow.
Hey man, lock this shit in, right? Lock it in right here, right now. Assassin's Creed Empire, Forza
Makes
Motorsport
sense.
7, which is a gimme.
That's
Call of Duty, World War II, Splinter Cell, whichever the hell one that's going to be. Supposedly Microsoft does have marketing rights on that. Whoop-de-fucking do, like Splinter Cell going up against all those fucking PlayStation games, but cool, because that is a good series. Red Dead Redemption 2, Destiny 2, which supposedly I heard was going to use PC assets, and I heard that before it was even leaked that it's going to have a PC version of that game. So that could be legit. Crackdown 3, obviously, and Battlefront 2.
Bro, did you just talk
Um,
shit about Splinter Cell, man?
No, I like Splinter Cell. I love
love
that
it.
series.
Did
Yeah.
not just sound like you love.
He called it a piece of shit.
He
GK.
did
No,
call
no,
it
no,
a piece
no,
of
no,
shit.
no, no,
That
no.
fucking hurt
Lock
me,
it in
bro.
here. Crap Gamer hates.
We were gonna have a conversation.
Never
after
wants
this
to see
fucking
another one
podcast.
again.
No, Crap Gamer loves Splinter Cell. Actually,
Never want to see it again.
Yeah, no, I love Splinter Cell. Like I used to play Spies vs. Merc all the time. I like the you know that guy. What's his name that does the voice?
Oh, you don't even know his name?
Exposed. Crap
What the
Gamer.
hell's his
Played the Splinter
name?
Cell
Michael
game.
Ironside.
Yeah, Ironside. There you go. See, I
Never
know
played
everything
the
about.
Splinter Cell game. Exposed.
He totally's played all of them, guys. He knows.
Yeah, I played all of them, guys. Come on, who are you gonna believe? Be someone who locks their achievements behind a locked door, or GKB. Come on, it's that simple, man. I know all this stuff about Splinter Cells. See, I mean, even how it's pronounced. So, I mean, what do you guys think about this list?
I agree, Def Jam Bam. Crapgamer's about to get cut by GKB for sure.
You gotta sneak up behind him and like sleuth him in the neck.
I mean, like these
I don't
sound
know, man. Like
plausible.
I think, I definitely think, and I believe what Dealer was saying earlier. Like I think Microsoft's probably got Assassin's Creed as well, which makes sense. Like they're putting money into that game. They would definitely do the 4K. But me, like I've always said this, man. I don't really care about the resolution. I'm all about the performance. I'd rather just 1080p, 1440p, 60 ultra all day, every day. So if it does, cool. That's a great bonus for anyone that cares. But I'm more interested in the performance.
Yeah, I mean,
Best part is they could potentially give you both, right, with an option.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like me, I want like 4K and 60 frames on most of this stuff. Obviously, Forza Motorsport 7, like the two that were super easy to tell, which was Forza Motorsport 7 and Crackdown 3, because it was their first
That's
party.
gonna be a showcase game right there, man.
Yeah, like I mean, I could see that. Like I went back and was looking at some of the alpha footage of Crackdown 3 from like a year and a half ago or whatever, and just seeing how they completely did like that destruction and stuff. I thought that was fucking fantastic.
Well, Forza Motorsport's already got like Apex on the PC doing the 4K and all that kind of stuff too, and that was probably just a test for the Scorpio and all that kind of stuff. So that makes sense,
well, I've heard that the stuff that's 4K on the Windows 10 store is also going to be like the 4K stuff on Scorpio. So I mean, there is that stuff, and I think that that's fucking pretty kick-ass in my opinion. I'm looking for the ones that I would be most interested in seeing if they could actually get 4K on would be Star Wars Battlefront 2. That would probably be the most one that I would be interested in, because that fucking engine,
Frostbite.
Yeah, the Frostbite engine takes tremendous resources.
Yeah,
and then, I mean, if you look at
running in 4K and all that kind of stuff, man, on the Scorpio, that's absolutely fantastic.
Well, the thing that really makes that even a question is it going to be 4K? Is the fact that game's going to be running at 60. So
that's what I'm saying.
That's going to be a challenge. But who knows? I mean, shit. I'd rather them raise the graphics, like GKB said, but whatever.
Yeah, like I'm not opposed to doing I don't think everything has to be 4K. If they can get that game at a higher resolution than 1080p at still 60, I think that'll be good, because if you look at Battlefront 1 right now on Xbox One, I think that game looks fantastic. You can fucking see ice crystals and shit in that. You know what I mean? And that's like a 720p game.
Sometimes I get messages like I don't have a 4K TV. Why should I buy the Scorpio? I'm like, bitch, you're playing shit at 720 right now. Sometimes the 1080p boost alone with better graphics is going to be more than enough reason for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's less than 10 AAA 720p games on X1, but I'm just saying, Battlefield 1, a lot of these games, Battlefront 2, 1080p minimal, a 60 FPS with probably better graphics, even if you don't have a 4K TV. Otherwise, you'll be playing at 720 with probably medium high hybrid, right? Like
I had someone message me on Xbox today and asked me if the Xbox Scorpio versions of games would be bigger download files, and I was like, well, yeah. I mean, these are going to be using 4K assets and stuff. That's going to take a lot of
not necessarily. Sometimes
with the compression and all that kind of stuff.
Sometimes they're actually smaller than the console size. Well,
if you look at I'm just going by what the Gears 4 was like. I guess the PC install for the 4K was higher than what's on Xbox One.
They're actually about the same. I think it's around 80 gigs.
Oh, quit exposing me, dealer. God damn it.
Yeah, they are about the same.
I just did a bunch of tests for that game on the 5.9 teraflops. You saw that shit, so I had to re-download it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, I mean, like as far as that, you would assume that a lot would probably.
me.
Yeah, quit exposing me. God damn it. I mean, when you look at Halo 5, right? That game's fucking 100 gigs.
Yeah, but I think
so.
If they're looking at the Scorpio and all that kind of stuff, and they understand textures and stuff might be a little bit bigger and all that stuff, I think they're going to be working on compression things and all that kind of stuff to swap it in and out of memory and all that stuff really fast. Like they were talking about the Xbox One with the ES RAM, and they were telling devs, hey, don't even unpack it, leave it in the zip and let it just go through the RAM and unpack it itself like that. So there's a lot of stuff they can do, man. I'm not really worried about the size.
The real question is how the fuck are they going to handle the PC ports? So basically, for one, just like Pro, I guess, because I was just talking to a subscriber about this on Xbox. If you don't have internet, you can't even take advantage of the Pro because none of that's on the disc, right? Yeah. And it's well, if Scorpio's using PC ports, then they're not going to cram. What are they going to do? Cram certain code on from both versions on the disc just in case you have the Scorpio, or will you need internet and will you need to download a different version? How if I pre-order Forza Motorsport 7 on X1 and I get it on Scorpio, how much am I going to have to do to get that PC version?
Yeah. Well, that's why they're suggesting that people patch it before the launch. So some people could be getting patches for games right now or at any time that could be potential Scorpio patches.
So
and just
I just want to throw this out there just to kind of help Crap out a little bit. Apparently, by actual images that are compared on PC, it's actually like 109 gigs for the PC version of Gears of War, and it's only 80.9 gigs on the Xbox.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say that because I just pulled up my install size.
Crapgamer vindicated.
I'm looking right here at the Gears of War 4 install size of my computer. It's 108 gigabytes.
So it's slightly more. So it's slightly more. I mean, we can probably.
I think I might have re-downloaded it for the most recent map pack. Maybe that's why it was.
When Gears of War 5 comes out, every game is going to come included with its own hard drive.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we could probably rule out a 500 gig hard drive, right? I mean.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On Scorpio, that's probably definitely not going to fucking happen.
Externals are going to be your best friend.
Yeah. Well, I've got multiple externals. I'm just going to unplug them fuckers and plug them right in Scorpio and go. Probably. Yeah, like that's just the way it's gonna be. Awesome, fucking. I'm super excited for this shit. Like people are really. I wish Microsoft would talk a little bit more about some of this stuff. Like they're actually talking less than ever. Like this is the least amount of talk they've ever had. Like they do like this one fucking event and they're like in a vault the rest of the time. You know what I mean? Like
Crap's really come around on this whole Scorpio thing, huh?
Well, the thing about Microsoft being kind of in the shadows, Phil Spencer has already pretty much come out and said that, we're watching what we say because we've already burned ourselves, like not obviously those words, but he's pretty much already said like they have to watch what they say. They have to watch how they market things out because they have burned themselves previously with saying things too early or saying things wrong, and they want the right image to come out. So they could just be holding all their guns until actual like show releases, so that one, there isn't leaks, because that was something Phil Spencer was actually disappointed about last year, about everything being leaked too early. So they could be trying to keep
on a short leash on
exactly. So why not keep a closer eye on your stuff?
You could put yourself in their position too. Like if I were them, they're doing the same shit I would do. I wouldn't say a fucking thing till E3.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I mean, like, okay, but that goes into this next point that I wanted to kind of touch on, which was there's this new research that clearly shows that fucking Sony gets more media coverage than Microsoft or Nintendo, even with the Switch launch, right? Like, here's media coverage articles, right? First announcements, PS4 Pro had 4,283 articles, Switch 3,636, Scorpio 1,068, the PlayStation VR 1,015. So fucking PlayStation VR gets just about the same amount of articles as the Scorpio did at the fucking reveal, while the PS4 Pro gets almost 4,300. That's like over 3,000 more, right? And like this is something that continuously happens. Like the Scorpio is not even fucking in there in most of this stuff. It's like Xbox never ever gets more articles.
Like when the Scorpio when the Scorpio is going to be launched and revealed and all that stuff, you're going to see a spike, going there because everybody's going to be talking about it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a reason why there's not a lot of talk about Scorpio, because there's nothing really to talk about except
that's why the negative articles do so well, bro, because they're not confirming much in the way of real. Like it's been up to like some of us in the community to piece together what's been confirmed on Twitter and all these other fucking places and put two and two together, right?
Yeah. And well, we're intelligent enough to do that, but the fucking
is not gonna do that.
The burger flippers and shit aren't.
No, but you also have Sony who comes out and pretty much lays all their cards out, and they're like, "All right, so we're giving you the VR, we're giving you the Slim, we're giving you the Pro. Here you go, here you go, here you go." So, well, yeah, and they're giving you games that are clearly way too far in advance, where they shouldn't actually come out yet, but they're still showing you all this stuff to get the media talking about them, where the media, obviously we do know there's a lot of bias between certain ones that we hear from because we do see it, but at the same time, Microsoft, with staying quiet about things, obviously isn't giving them much to talk about.
Yeah, to your credit, you're right, but also I have like the Xbox One monthly media coverage thing, and it gets completely shit on. The only time since 2015 where more Xbox articles were written than PlayStation was the Gamescom, where Microsoft did a show and Sony didn't. So it took them doing a fucking show that Sony didn't to get only slightly more coverage than Sony got.
Does it say by any
Slightly.
chance like where these articles are coming from? Like specifically what websites?
It doesn't. It just is like media. It's like and it counts them like into like to their credit like over 50,000 or 57,000 or whatever. I mean, that's quite fucking accurate. And so it's really interesting. And this article that basically reads that like Microsoft is fucking up by only holding the one event, like putting all their eggs in one basket as far as E3 is concerned. Yeah.
What was that, Cletus? What?
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it, that talk there about the Xbox Scorpion, because I like all this rumor stuff, because it reminds me of the lady down the street. Her name's Gertrude, and there's rumors about her, too. They said my cousin Stan, he could fit his whole head up inside her vagina because it was that fucking big. I'm thinking that this E3 thing is going to be fucking big, too, son. I don't know much about it, but that Xbox Scorpion, boy, that son of a bitch going to leave some sting.
Scorpio. Scorpio. Not Scorpion.
Scorpio. I
got Cletus, you fuckface.
Cletus. Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but you sound like about every other person in this town. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, go lie down, man. Go lie down.
Yeah. We appreciate your input there, Cletus. Thank you for joining in. You're always welcome here, bro. But yeah, like there's still people out there that don't think that this is a thing, that the bias doesn't exist. I'm crazy.
We saw last year that Sony actually came out and say IGN, for instance, actually provided them all with brand new PlayStations. And then they even showed everyone that Sony provided them with all free PlayStations. So obviously we do, like, us personally who actually stay caught up with the media do see this, but casual people who don't really pay much attention, they just read the articles to read the articles.
I'm pretty sure all console makers send in consoles, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too. They probably do. Like for me though, like I'm not really surprised at this. Like if you think about it, like one of our biggest critiques, like, and we've said this on like multiple podcasts before, is like, Microsoft's messaging, their lack of putting a lot of money behind, marketing and all that kind of stuff. So really, it's not really surprising to me at all that it would be less. And I think, right now they're not even talking about anything. So, I mean, it is what it is, brother.
Are you? Yeah, it's so bad that fucking, like Dealer said, we're sitting there looking for these old articles to put two and two together so we can do a speculation video and fucking Baby
Sherlock
Bird
Holmes shit, bro.
Yeah, fucking Baby Bird the fucking people on speculation and shit, because somebody's got to say something. And in fact, when I got sent the latest Scorpio roadmap, the dude was like, or her, could have been him or her. So I'm just saying, yeah, they were like, yeah, get some positive news out there on Scorpio, because Microsoft ain't saying shit. You got to get some hype going. Like
but hold on a minute. I'm gonna cut you off right now. Like,
uh-oh.
No, my thing is, like, everybody turns around and bitches when the leaks happen. Because they're like, oh my God, this sucks. Why did they release it now and not wait for the show? And then
we're bitching
they don't do it because now you're bitching because they don't do it. Like,
that's so true.
It reminds me of the idiots that will click on your video and watch it and then bitch about the type of video it was. Like, oh, why are you covering a leak? Like, why do you watch it, you fucking idiot?
Or like 70% of Crapgamer's comments on his videos. This is why you fucking pro Xbox. What the fuck?
Yeah. Your name fits you, guy. You are crap.
They watch like 2 fucking minutes, and then they think they know the whole video, and then they don't click on all the links that he leaves in the fucking down in the bottom. And it's like they just make shit up as they go along, just because there's so much salt, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's funny, dude. Like fucking speaking of that, right? Make sure you guys hit that like button. But yeah, speaking of that, what the funniest fucking thing is this, right? I had somebody come at me and they're like, man, Crap, you're so full of shit. You didn't even link anything. You're talking about this rumor and you said that you had some kind of source or whatever. You fucking suck because you're just lying. Video, right? Yeah. So this is the thing, right? And to everyone on this panel except for you, Noof, I have sent some kind of legitimate artifact, have I not?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck you, She-Wolf. You know damn well I said a fucking legitimate piece of paper. You definitely know. Oh my God, Dealer.
I say legitimate stuff directly off of Crapgamer's computer, And
I think he writes these like in the notepad and then just sends them.
I can attest that Crapgamer does not have the technical ability to fake anything, any kind of paperwork or anything else.
Well, at least I wasn't calling you stupid.
Well, no, I'm a bit of a hill. I admit that freely. I'm not the brightest fucking, the duck in the pond or whatever, but I'm kind of entertaining and funny sometimes, so I think people can resonate with that. I'm like the everyman, you know what I mean? Like the hillbilly, I can game a little bit. I play on the easiest mode.
Well, that's if you classify media player as a game.
Oh, shit.
He's going for all the gamer score, right?
Damn.
Oh, she's going low.
Damn.
It is. Ouch.
Somebody pointed that out earlier in the chat. They were like,
No.
"That's all he plays is me."
Hey, he plays a lot of Mass Effect Andromeda on easy narrative mode. He just he just runs around and just melees everything. Just everything.
I told you.
So by playing, you mean like watching media player videos of Mass Effect?
Yeah, no. Look, I was playing Mass Effect, and you just run around. The first 100 or so kills I got was just me running up to people and punching them, with the melee, right? That was what I did because I thought it was fucking funny, and there's that achievement. So now I shoot people a little bit in the game, but for the most part, yeah, I just run up and would punch people and was like, yeah, take that, take that. Take that. It was just like I was just being funny or whatever. And maybe it's a little bit too easy on narrative mode, but for the most part, there's not really a big difference on the achievements. And that game's already taken up fucking 40 hours of my life. So I can imagine.
In the chat, it's just jokes, guys.
It is. Wow.
It's all jokes by YouTube professional. Remember.
What are they saying?
That'll end up with some kind of Nexus herpes or something.
Well, they think everybody's serious. Like everybody's got to be fucking. Oh man, I love this tweet by Tim Dog. It's funny that seeing how these people are talking about 4K and 1800p is good enough with checkerboarding now. That is just that narrative change is just so funny to me. But
once again, Microsoft can do the same checkerboarding, but at higher settings and probably 60 FPS.
Yeah, so I mean that's gonna be fucking super important as well.
But yeah, to go back to your topic, yes, you have had the developer documents. I've seen them; they're real.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. Now, and again, I do a lot of stuff when people they might not even be legit, just because I like to entertain people, and people are like, "Well, give us anything," you know what I mean? Something. So it's like I guess doing a rumor or whatever. But how would this work, right? I'm like, okay, such and such developer gave me this fucking document. Well, guess what? That developer signed a fucking NDA, and these documents have fucking numbers all over them. So, or a lot of them do. So if you were to get a hold of that, they could get in trouble.
They're watermarked.
I've had some videos.
Specific people.
Yeah, I've had fucking videos where it was watermarked, and you see a fucking number appear on the screen every other second, all over the fucking screen. Right?
Try to get anybody fired.
Yeah, I don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything like that. It's I'm not sharing anything super secret. Who cares? If we know some games are going to be 4K, great. I think that's the only thing that's hurting is we're going to know that fucking games are going to be 4K. And that's something to get excited about. That's not a bad thing. I wouldn't I probably would.
I do think though, when you guys get not articles, but documents, I do think that sometimes the leaks are actually meant to be leaked just because of the fact that, if they were under such strict NDA, 1, they can lose their jobs. 2, you can be sued for it because you broke contract. So sometimes I think that it's actually legit for them to release this information to certain people to make it sound like it's a leak, just so that it sounds like bigger news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes for a great YouTube video, right? Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, look, here's the thing. If you're going to YouTubers or whatever, I've had some people complain about that. Oh man, it's just speculation or somebody sent you. It's look, I'm just talking about it. And I never go, hey, this is 100% for sure. Because until Microsoft fucking announces something, it's not. I had the fucking Sony Neo documents before they were published on the fucking site.
Honestly, crap, I had them. I think what it is, man, is just everybody, sees the rumors, sees the leaks, and they're just, I think they're just oversaturated with it. And at this point, they just want to see the Scorpio and see what it does and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's kind of a little bit of the backlash you're getting on that stuff, man. Yeah. That's all it is, bro.
And you got to remember too, when you're pumping out videos as Crab is pumping out and stuff like that. I mean, it's not easy to come up with fucking compelling topics every single day.
Well, also though, you want something. It's in human nature to want something you can't can't have. And the fact that the Scorpio we all know is there, but we can't touch it, we can't see it, and they won't tell us anything about it. We want it more, which then allows it to surface around the social media and around the YouTubers and everyone else, trying to think of what it could actually be because you want it so badly, and they make it dig so far into your brain that you're like, oh my god, I need this, and it just, I don't know, it's kind of one of those human nature things you see with a lot of different things.
Here's a bottom line with Scorpio videos. Me and Crap both do these. Obviously, I do a lot of the technical analysis stuff. Crap's really good at getting the news out there and getting it out there to everybody as
in a
quick as
hillbilly type
possible.
fashion. Just FYI, I guess.
but you get a lot of idiots who say it's a speculation or this or that, but really it's more of an opinion piece. When Shadow of War technical director, the guy optimizing for Scorpio right now, comes out and says they didn't just upgrade some stuff, you take away what you can and you give your opinion, and people act like you put a gun to their head and force them to fucking watch the video, right?
Yeah.
Or
and that guy's fucking talking about the Scorpio version, and he goes, until you see it in 4K HDR, it's a whole different game or whatever. Like, that's fucking boom. Hello.
And he didn't have to say that for you to know it's in 4K, because I've already done the benchmarks, and it's going to be more than enough power to do 4K on that game.
You could do 4K 30 even on low. Like, I was doing that 4K 30 pretty much on a overclocked GTX 950 months ago on Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, like that's pretty ridiculous too. That's crazy. But I'm just saying though that a lot of that gets mixed up, and there's a lot of news out. Like, the comments have completely changed about Scorpio since like me and people like Crap have been doing this, where it was nothing but negativity. Nobody wanted nothing to do with it, and it wasn't going to be powerful enough, and it was going to be $1,000, and we finally got it down to 600. Like we're just chipping away, and somebody's got to fight the good fight, right? So it is. If we weren't around to do that, like, the perception of this thing would be so much worse. Like, finally, people are believing it's going to be 4K high settings on average.
Yeah. Well, and you know what the thing, dealer, is, like, remember, like, that's the whole fanboy argument. They still think it's going to be $600-700, right? No matter how many times you kind of try to debunk this thing, they're like, well, he keeps calling it premium. And I'm like, listen, that's fine, but the Xbox One S is going to be $250. Like, anything above that would be considered the premium version, right?
I'm really confused, because in the podcast he did with Unlocked, he said maybe you shouldn't use premium. He's trying to say it's for the hardcore, the guys that know what it's for.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way he used it.
It's like the Elite controller.
Well, that's not a good comparison either.
Yeah, that's not even a good comparison either.
He's saying that the Elite controllers for the hardcore, like this console is going to be. He's not necessarily saying the prices will be.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying the price. I'm saying that, it's basically, look, you go to anybody else and you'll be like, hey, you want to buy this controller for $150? The average person, they're going to be like, fuck no. That's,
because they don't care to have the best of the best.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but he also didn't say it wasn't going to be that high either. And
I mean, it's not going to be that high. I mean, it's common sense.
But Crap's even had like a leak that was given to him, and we talked about this on the show a couple of weeks ago about $600 and all that stuff. I don't think it's going to be there either. I think $500 max. I'd rather see a $399 version.
I mean, look, here's where I stand on that, right? Like, you go and try to build a computer that has just the base Xbox One or PS4 specs, and see how much it'll cost you to build that thing from the ground up. And you're looking at from a retail perspective, you're looking at much more than what you pay $250 or whatever for an Xbox One S or whatever the case may be. So
yeah, but it's a little different with Scorpio, where at $700 you could build a PC that's going to be very close in capability, no problem.
Yeah,
and that's just a fact. And Microsoft know that, so they're not going to price their fucking console at $700 when you could just go build a PC for that much.
They could have done a $700 6 teraflop game console last year. Like, if they wanted to do that,
they could have did a 600 or under last year at 6 teraflop.
Yeah. So I mean, the entire thing was the weight. Like, if you can get a 4.2 teraflop console with a shitty CPU, mind you, with the Pro at $400, you don't think you could do more than that a year later for probably around the same price, or maybe a little bit more expensive? Like,
aw, come on, guys, hit that like button. We're at $199.
I know, like people are like so stingy with the fucking likes tonight. Here I am.
It's really hard. It's really hard to click that like button, crap. I'm telling you.
It is. Like I noticed that. Like
too busy dissuading Xbox over in the comments section, probably. Fucking just people over there just going nuts, shitting on the Xbox. There, got some haters back in that fucking chat room.
Those are the little dick clickers that I guess they got nothing else to do on a Wednesday night, but listen to an Xbox podcast for 2 hours. So.
Yeah, well, I mean that's
what I do when I have downtime. I go listen to stuff that I don't like.
Yeah, that's what I do too, man.
I really dislike all this. Let me go spend a couple hours just listening to it.
You know what? And then I tell the people who make that stuff that I don't like that, and I'm not going to listen to it anymore.
I'll be back next week.
Then I go back the following week.
I can't fucking stand having diarrheas, but I go out and eat a bottle of X-Lax every night. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what? I had someone message me today. They go, "I don't like your show, your content. I'm not going to watch it." And I was just like dumbfounded, right? Like, okay, great. Like, fucking let me go into a restaurant and tell them I don't like your food. I'm not going to eat here. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, if you're not
fuck you, give me my food.
Yeah, every time I drive past the McDonald's, I'm just compelled to go in there and be like, "Fuck you guys! I hate your food. I'm never eating here. See you later."
Give me Burger King or give me death. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I totally get it, man. Like, okay, PS4 Slim or PS4 Pro Slim.
Pro Slim, yeah.
The Pro,
dude.
like,
I still think they should pop in some really high-end fans to get that nostalgia factor from the Dreamcast people, you know? Like,
yeah,
I think that's what it would be.
Just before we move completely off subject of what we were just talking about, I do want to point out that before the Pro released, the media even were saying that thing was going to be minimum $500.
Yeah.
So the people were blown away that it was $399. Just keep that in mind. They're going to do it again this year. So.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna be like, whoa, like here's the thing, and I even heard haters say this. If Microsoft comes out with the Scorpio and it's $399, even though I don't like Xbox, I'll definitely buy one. I mean, I think that's gonna be a lot of people.
I get that every day. I'm getting rid of my PlayStation when this comes out. They don't even care what price it is. Fuck.
Yeah, like hey, if it's $399, because that's where the like to your point, dealer. I get it. Like I would rather have Microsoft spend the money. Not on marketing deals, but on games and shit. Although I do think it's important to get some kind of thing associated with your brand once in a while. But maybe you're right. Maybe the fucking word of mouth and the better versions on everything. If Digital Foundry doesn't fuck it up and go, it's really a toss up. I mean, checkerboarding looks really good too. You know what I mean? Like
Microsoft, if they're dumb enough to make the mistake not to give better graphics as an option, they kind of deserve to get their asses kicked.
Yeah, hey, they can't fuck up. They've already fucked up enough this generation. Hopefully they can pull shit together. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the PS4 Pro Slim. Yeah, like this thing. Yeah, this thing apparently leaked, and a lot of people were like, "Why would they do that?" And the whole reason they would do that is to get their PS4 Pro. Well, they want to get it at a cheaper price. I'm assuming that's what it is.
When they reduce the size of the APU, then they can reduce the size of other components like the power supply. It all comes down to them either saving money or reducing the cost of overall components to make another price drop, which is going to be extremely important when Scorpio comes out, because that's the only advantage Pro can maintain, depending on if Microsoft are willing to take a loss, right? Like they do have the price advantage because the hardware is not as good. I think they can go deeper down when it comes to that price drop.
I also think they want to change a few things as well, though. Like possibly change so it's not. I don't want to say overheating, but where their ventilation isn't always
bad.
No, but it's still not the greatest design for their ventilation for people who like to game for a long period of time. So to change small things like that, and
do you sit on the top of your PlayStation when you game, She-Wolf?
I have a friend that says
right now.
I have a friend that says she cuddles with it, so she says that as a heater. So.
What's her name?
Pelvic Gaming, actually.
No, I don't think
it's true though. She's
the top of that. Gets really hot because there is no space in between that top cover and the fan or the fans, right, or whatever the inlets.
Well, no, they live over each other, so it's literally like two pieces of plastic, and then the vents are in between.
I'm just saying it's
the greatest design.
Yeah.
No, it's not the biggest thing, but it is also possible that they want to change it for the design itself as well, because.
Next Gen 720 swears up and down that they're going to add a 4K Blu-ray player, and I say no fucking way. That's not gonna happen.
That would piss off a lot of people,
They
man.
did just release their own standalone at around $2.99, I do believe.
Yeah.
It would be kind of weird for them to cannibalize their own sales. But
You know what, though?
I
But
think it would be
you're
a
also
mistake
talking
too,
about
because they need to get that price down and add the 4K.
but you're also talking about
Blu-ray.
Sony too, right? They have a habit of cannibalizing their own products at some point.
You know
They
what?
once
Sony
invested
did
in a
do?
biometric wig.
Yes, but wouldn't putting the new Blu-ray in it actually up the price, not actually bring it down?
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, but they have.
That's what we're saying. Like they put it in there, it's not going to help.
Yeah, they're already on record as saying that people don't want 4K Blu-rays. They want to stream. They want to.
Maybe they're just mad and don't want people calling it a Big Mac anymore, and they just want to change. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, no, look, they did get a little bit. Well, actually, nobody hated on that thing, even despite the shitty design. But
that has the worst design out of a lot of consoles that I've seen, and that's not even meant as like an anti-Sony thing. Like I would say that even if an Xbox came out with that kind of design.
Actually, I don't know why, but I liked it a lot better in person when I finally got it. Right, like it's not as bad as it looks in pictures.
Well, and what do you play on it? Did you get Mass Effect for it, or did you?
Oh fuck no! I didn't buy nothing else for that bitch.
Crap, you have the Pro, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a Pro. The thing's a big ugly piece of shit.
Well, I just knew that I want to play Mass Effect where the achievements are, and I know the best version's eventually going to be on Scorpio when it gets patched. So fuck it, might as well.
Hey, the good news is by the time I fucking get done with that game or close to it, Scorpio will be out. So I'll be able to just fucking hop on
maybe you can do the final mission by the time when Scorpio's out.
Yeah, you know what? I have this generation as I slowly get older and fatter. You know, like I'm actually down 12 pounds this year. So yeah, there. Anyway, as I slowly get older, I can't finish these RPGs. Like I don't know what the deal is. I don't think I'll ever finish The Witcher. I never even finished the fucking Dragon Age Inquisition. And I fucking finished all the Dragon Age games.
That's because we're the kind of people that don't just run through the story, like the main story. We branch out and do all the side stuff.
Yeah, like The Witcher. I got.
Yeah, you want to know how you can lose 10 pounds next week?
How's that?
Trade your PS4 Pro in.
Damn.
Oh my god, that was hey man, that was good, man. That was fucking good.
And it was a clean show too.
I thought Hellhammer was transforming into a fucking pterodactyl.
No, I get it, man. I get it, dude. Like fucking, dude, you're on point tonight, dude. I gotta say.
I just feel better now that I got my damn Xbox to fucking boot finally. So
there you go.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
I thought it was brick Hellhammer.
Yeah, it's brick.
Yeah, well, I had to reset everything, so now I'm sitting here while everything's like ready to install. It takes 4 hours to get to that point.
Yeah. Well, hey, does it seem to you guys that Sony is like a little bit like a step ahead of Microsoft with most things this generation? Like, I mean, look, if they come out with this Slim and let's say they do the impossible and get this fucking Pro down to $299, right?
Well, the Slim versions only take about $50 off each time. From what I've seen.
Okay, so $350 for the Pro, right? I mean, that makes sense, but still, that could be at the very least $50 less. And then with the media narrative that 4K is just about as good, like Microsoft have to be really to the point that frame rate, this and that. You know what I mean?
I would still think in the long run though that it would be a waste of money to have 2 Pros out just to sell one because it's slit. Like it would have to have something worth actually people going out and buying it. Or like, I don't know. It's more the fact of like, wouldn't they have spent more money just trying to create the smaller Slim than?
In the long run, they're going to save millions and millions and millions.
Yeah, in the long run, they'll save a lot more. I think that it doesn't necessarily have to have anything because there's been slim versions of consoles and stuff before in the past and handhelds that didn't really add much.
PS3.
So then, are you saying that they would possibly stop production of the original?
The original PS4 is already out of production. I think.
No. I'm talking about the Pro.
PS4 Pro.
I'm talking about the big fat Pro. Are you saying that they're going to?
I think they would stop production of it.
Yeah.
I mean, in like 4 years, 5 years, maybe.
Well,
that just seems like a waste to me. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Personally, I think that's a waste to bring the two systems almost back to back.
Yeah. I don't even know if they'll release it this year. I think that's next year, man.
It could be next year because look, Sony did come out with multiple PS3 units, right? And the third one,
two Slims.
The third one is the one that I have now after my original fat broke for the third time.
Well, okay.
This thing is the cheapest fucking thing ever.
Difference
The
in
sliding French door that
sizes,
holds the
though.
game.
Yeah.
Like when they went slim, they went slim. Like
Yeah.
if they're gonna do that, then yes, okay, I can personally see.
Hey,
that
maybe they'll add
that
a
would
sliding
make it
door to this
more
one.
logical for people who travel and all that kind of stuff to buy a slimmer one that they can carry around. But if it's really not much smaller than the original Pro, I don't see how it's actually beneficial.
Honestly, I don't see the fucking slim of the PS4 fucking needed to be happening because the fucking original PS4 was fucking small enough, and I don't see a reason for the fucking Pro at all. Like honestly,
it's
there's
not
just
about
no
the
value.
size of the consoles, though, guys.
They're trying to get it
how you
cheaper,
use
right?
them.
Yeah.
It's the new chipsets that are gonna. They're not even the same chips, but they're gonna be cheaper and be more energy efficient, basically.
Hellhammer made a good point. What if they get rid of like the classic, like put the disc in and it sucks it in? What if they replace it like the third PS3 Slim, where it's like this sliding door?
Yeah. I mean,
Like
look, people, you can laugh about that all you want, but I mean, look, when people are redesigning this stuff and they're doing it, and I think this is all in all just a way for them to save money on it. Like, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, they get rid of stuff, and then people would hail it as the next thing. They'd be like,
That was
"Man."
like the worst console of all time. That third PS3.
That's the fucking one I'm stuck with too, because
I really think I think all these systems are just kind of doing way too much of like money grab, cash grab, whatever you want to call it. I think
it's very Sega.
they should have just waited on all of these pros, even the Scorpio. Like all of them should have just waited and came out with the next generation of consoles instead of putting all these like in between systems for like gamers to have to like decide whether or not what's actually going to be the better system, what's going to do this, what's going to do that. It just seems all useless, and it just seems more like a cash.
Way too early to say that for Scorpio right now. Because in terms of power, that is a next generation.
But at the same time, though, if they're going to say release this one, then when is the next generation of consoles going to be coming out?
Well, the 360 one went on way too long, right? That was the longest one ever, and on average before that, it was 4 or 5 years.
So they bring out the Scorpio, though. But so they bring out the Scorpio, and then PlayStation says, I don't know, 2 years they bring out the PlayStation 5. Does that mean Xbox is going to retaliate with bringing out like the next Xbox?
Just like now, they'll probably come out with a year earlier, and the year after Scorpio 2 will come out.
I mean,
so
like
every 3 years,
every 4 years.
I mean,
I'm telling you, man, the console gens have turned into the fucking latest version of the cell phone industry, and that's where they're following, because people will go out and snap up a new Apple iPhone like every fucking year that they bring a new one out, and it's the same deal here. The bigger, better thing keeps the hype going, keeps people spending money, and I guess if the sales outweigh the development costs of it all, they don't see no harm in it. They got to be smart though, because we saw what Sega did to themselves way back in the day. But at the same time, that was back in the day, and things were quite a bit different back then. You know what I mean? Like, just the whole industry is completely changed from where it was. I mean, the whole digital era has changed games in itself.
I mean, look, when Sega did that, you got to also remember too that most people's way to get information for games was either through a magazine or word of mouth. And now you're looking at, stuff is pretty instantaneous. A lot of times people didn't.
It's become the biggest industry on the planet almost, right?
Yeah.
Since then, so. And we need to look at the positives of these types of iterative evolutionary consoles is the fact that you no longer start over ever again. And this is going to be a continuing trend because developers don't want to take risks on new install bases anymore. They want to just launch a game and have tens and tens and tens of millions of units out there to play it, right? They don't want to launch for a new console anymore. It's a risk. And gamers don't want to start over with their games, their controllers. You're looking at more of a PC ecosystem environment when it comes to how these things are going to just keep upgrading and be backward and forward compatible.
That's why they want to make sure that it's backwards compatible, right? I mean, that's why they're
backward and forward
so hard, like, backward and forward. So, but
developers love it. Like, you're going to get all the support in the world because developers aren't afraid to develop for your platform anymore.
But will it restrict game development? Like, that's the thing. Like, if you got the Scorpio that's going to have this massive
doesn't restrict PC, and there's a much wider spectrum on PC than console.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can literally play on integrated graphics, all low 720, sub 20 FPS, and then you could go get a $500 GPU and play that bitch at 4K Ultra. It's a different game, and there's a way wider spectrum of CPUs, GPUs, motherboards, all these different components, and they all scale rather well. So it can be done.
But see, the thing for me, when I'm dumping money on a new console, I want to make sure that the console can justify that cost. Meaning that I want something that's going to blow my mind. I don't just want resolution and a few higher frame rates, although that's fantastic. Remember back in the day when it was Xbox and PS2 and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory came out for like all three consoles, Xbox, PS2, and GameCube. But the only system that it actually ran really well on was the Xbox because it was optimized. They actually had to change the layout of a lot of levels and stuff was missing from the other. It just didn't have the power. Yeah, the lighting had changed. It totally changed how the game basically played out. Ultimately, it didn't look as good and didn't play as good. It was so like that's what I don't want. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm afraid of is too many compromises made to keep the old gen systems relevant.
And that's why it's a good thing they're using the PC ports, right? For any developers that apply themselves, they're not held back by the last gen versions.
I actually have a question for everybody. Like with the Scorpio releasing, do you think there's actually going to be any form of just a game created for only the Scorpio because of the fact that it is forward and backwards compat and it's supposed to be like not officially the main console sellers because, Phil Spencer's already said that, their main focus is actually the Xbox One S and this is supposed to be more for hardcore, but is it actually going to have anything really worthwhile for anyone to really push more towards it if there's no just exclusive games only for that game or for that console?
He said that they're all going to be on the Xbox One S and Scorpio and all that kind of stuff. And for me, to New's point, like what he was talking about, I totally understand where he's coming from because I think, and I've read some articles today about it too, that like from a gameplay perspective, not resolution, not fucking graphics or anything like that, from a gameplay perspective, I think it can be held back with these older version of consoles. Like we've seen it with the 360 and the Xbox One, and the same thing will happen here. Like they're just not going to have the power, and eventually they're going to have to cut it off.
Well, you see it with cell phones. Remember that game Infinity Blade when it first came out? It ran on like certain variations of the iOS, but then after a while, like when the sequel came out, it was like, no, you cannot play this on your iPhone 3 because you need a new operating system, which is not compatible on the newer phone. So there you have it. There was like a whole slew of games you just couldn't play.
They're going to do that every like 5 or 6 years. They'll probably cut off the previous generation.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to do it at some point because you just can't keep it running and keep going like that. I mean, you technically could, but at some point, the Xbox One S is gonna run stuff at 20 frames versus anything.
I think there's a long way to go because we're still running shit on Unreal Engine 4 at 1080p like Gears of War, right? There's a long way to go before they're at 720p. Unanti-aliased 30 FPS medium settings.
There's
a very long way.
And that's graphical though. That's not gameplay.
I know what you're saying there though, but on the CPU side, that's the only limiting factor that we're talking about here because the GPU takes care of all those things you see in terms of effects. The CPU's AI alpha effects and draw calls like for frame rate. Right? So the main limiting thing here that we're talking about, that's the same reason Shadow of Mordor didn't have Nemesis mode on 360, right? They compromised on that feature, and they will do that again. That's just what they're going to do. You're going to get things on Scorpio you don't get on the X1, and we've seen it before. So, in terms of AI and stuff, they're going to have to compromise. In terms of crazy particles and alpha effects, they're going to have to compromise, and eventually they're going to break that frame rate parity rule on multiplayer as well, just like PC. Hey, high-end hardware, you're going to be at 60. X1, you're going to be at 30 on Battlefield 5, right? Or Battlefield 6. It's just how they're going to have to compromise on their own rules.
I think they'll just lower the resolution. I don't think.
I mean, it's already 720. If they lower it past that, that's fucking. It's just too.
Well, no, isn't Battlefield 1? Isn't it up to like?
It goes as low as 720, and it scales up to 1000p in the like.
It's dynamic res.
They don't need to drop the res anymore. They need to just compromise on frame rate. They can even make the game look better at 30, and for a while. For a couple years, actually.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't see developers making a version for Scorpio that's going to have new features that the Xbox One S and even the PS4. I mean, like you've even seen Sony say that it has to have the same features in each one, and I guarantee you, Phil's going to say that as well. And I think that's going to help hold back the Scorpio to.
Well, I mean, that's what they're going to say for that up front because they don't want people to freak out.
I don't think so because Phil said they can use it however the fuck they want, right?
Yeah, but it can't.
If they want to use it to only run on Mode 2.0 if the Xbox One can't have, just like they did with 360, then that's probably what they'll do.
If the Scorpio has a better CPU and it just can't do the same features on the Xbox One S, it's going to hold it back.
I mean, the only features they couldn't do is like particle effects, like I said, or the amount of AI, or the frame rate.
Or any new game features that they try and come out with that needs more oomph that CPU on the Xbox One S can't handle. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, you're thinking about things that are already out right now. I'm thinking about potential things that are coming out in the future.
I don't know. I'd like an example.
I mean, you know, just like
you said, like halting innovation and new ways on the CPU.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to look ahead and see that because right now they pretty much use a CPU for same thing across the board in games right now, and who knows? Maybe they stumble across something different. I don't know.
So you think that they might have some parity things like? Well, you saw what Brad Wardell talked about, right? He said there might be compatibility issues down the road. I'm not sure he
was talking about like backwards compatibility and shit that's already been like debunked by the white papers, and he was just out of the loop there. Cool dude, just not in the loop on that one, you know. So it is what it is. I just think just like PC, you're gonna have to compromise on features, be that CPU bound or GPU bound. It's gonna be a thing. It's inevitable.
Yeah, I agree. I do think you're right as far as we're definitely going to get a lot more in terms of like the graphical settings and stuff like that. AI, I mean, do you think they're going to give you different AI or more intelligent
I mean, you
AI?
saw the amount of AI they ran on Assassin's Creed Unity, right?
Yeah.
And that's why that game ran better on X1 because it was CPU bound. Same for Hitman. Yeah. There are only 2 games that I know of on these systems that was truly CPU bound when it came to general gameplay. And it was Hitman and AC Unity because both of those games ran better on X1 because of the slightly faster clock Jaguar.
You know,
but remember hashtag no parity though. Remember, people thought that they just made it parity to so that the Xbox version would sell just as much.
Nah.
Yeah. So this turns out that the PS4 had a shit CPU. Go ahead,
speaking of really good-looking games, how about them games with gold?
Yes.
What are those games with gold?
Those games with gold, you get in Rise.
Wait, Rise 2? I keep hearing that.
No. Rise 2.
I'm giving you Rise 2.
Yeah, we're going to get Rise 2. Yeah, okay.
Rise 3. No.
Nice try, people. Rise, son of Rome.
Yes, and it's about fucking time that they give that game out. You know how many people I see go, man, I really wanted to play Rise, but I didn't get it. I'm like, that fucking game's $10.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Still, like,
it's not even that much. It's like $8.99 at GameStop now for physical.
Yeah, like how cheap are you?
I got the Legendary Edition digital for $8. That's like the $80 edition of the game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what? I might. This is what I already own it, obviously, but when it comes out digitally, like that'll be cool because I own the physical copy. I might hop back in there and see if there's anybody on that multiplayer because I remember that being pretty fucking fun. Like the co-op, like horde mode.
Oh yeah, man!
I mean, we can run through it. We can run through it together, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I bet there'll be like
fun. And all the trolls are bitching about, it's old games on Xbox. Well, you know what?
Hey,
let's
take a look.
I'd rather have fucking, those old games on Xbox than the fucking new trash that's coming out for PlayStation Plus. I mean, it's hardly been a fucking month where I've looked at PlayStation Plus and went, man, this is worth the subscription. Oh yeah, no way.
Drawn to Death looks cool, bro. I'm not gonna say that right now. Like, I think that's cool.
Hey, look, I am looking forward to Drawn to Death. Actually, I am about to redeem PlayStation Plus so that I can get the game. Because the game would be $20 anyway, and PlayStation Plus is like on sale right now. So, but the fucking what is it? Lovers in a Dangerous whatever that shit game
on Xbox.
We already got that.
That shit game that we have on Xbox.
I already clicked install and then didn't install it. Well, system.
I mean, look, that's
what's nice about the game.
You might be better off just buying that game because if you don't subscribe to PS Plus, you lose it, don't you?
Yeah, but it's online only. So you need both anyway. So you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm actually gonna do some gameplay videos on it. Like it looks interesting to me. Like it's a arena type. And originally I didn't like the art style, but now I'm like, okay, it's okay. So I'm actually
looking fucking hypocrites complaining about old games. Bitch, you were celebrating The Last Guardian. That bitch is a decade old last year. Shut the fuck up, you fucking.
Well, it's kind of funny though that they're calling them old games when some of these games are actually one of the top selling games. And for The Walking Dead season 2 that they're releasing, they have 3 coming out, or it's already been released. So that kind of promotes you more. And they actually released the first one for Games with Gold previously. So they're pretty much giving you like games in a row for free, and then upping you to possibly wanting to buy the sequels to some of these games because you actually get to try them. So I think it's a good method to what they're doing.
Those Walking Dead games are
Guardian's
actually
so
really
fucking
good.
old it comes with an old age pension check as a DLC.
Oh. No. Oh, hey man, I just want to point out something. I keep seeing this Minecraft Xbox being fucking promoted by Microsoft, and I just want to point out that the packaging for this box is phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
with like all the Minecraft-esque kind of shit in there. Like I think.
Yeah, like cool. It makes me want to go out and buy one. Like every time I see it, I'm like, damn, I want to go buy that damn Minecraft.
I already bought the fucking game twice.
Yeah, I own 4 copies of the game. Thank you.
By the way,
no,
I got to point out something here. Sony gives you old games too. They're called remasters, but they charge you fucking $30 a pop for them.
It was more than that. Fucking God of War was just a straight port almost. It was what, 40?
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, hey, to be fair, I only bought that game when it was down to $10. Hey, and you can get it. I think
at least you're reliving some of the glory days with that game, at least, right?
Yeah, like they put that game on for like $5 or something on the. They have the sale right now, and I'm like, why couldn't they even give that for free? Like, stop being so cheap. Apparently, you sell 57 million fucking consoles, but you can't even put like an old game on.
That is something Microsoft needs to do. They need to do those $5 flash sales. That's what Microsoft need to do that.
I did a video, and that was my #1 complaint. I'm like, you look over there at Sony, and they do these fucking flash sales, and they're actually pretty decent. Like, they even had Until Dawn, which I already have as well.
Well, I mean, and some of those games actually
just always button me off.
I just want to throw this out here actually real quick. Some of these games are games that are on sale at the same time as the Xbox One versions as well, but the Xbox One versions are $9.99, $14.99. I mean, so.
And I do want to say that I successfully, like, even though that seems like it was a pricing error for that big fucking Resident Evil bundle, like $20 or whatever it was, like, true to that, I can still use that shit. So, yeah.
Well, actually, that bundle was kind of weird because it did actually last for the whole 8 days, but it was like at certain times, like every few hours, it would go on sale and then off sale for 8 days straight.
Yeah, like
crazy.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. But I got it for $20. But like that bundle right now is on sale on PlayStation 4 for $51, which that's still a good deal too for all those fucking games. But $20 beats $50. I ended up getting all the Resident Evils, even the newest one, 7 for $50.
Did you play that yet?
No, I haven't got a chance to play it because I'm fucking ass deep in Mass Effect trying to get that alien bitch to kick it out wide.
So
but she's like making me run. Yeah, she's making me run through hoops, man. I'm like, yo, Cora. Or no, yeah, not the alien one because I was trying to hook up with her, but she's too flighty. So I was like, fuck that. Let me try to hook up with Cora. But then she's like, let's go to this planet. Let's go do this. Can we fucking go do this? And I'm like,
yeah, damn, bro.
You want to go to Red Lobster? Let's go to Red Lobster.
Yeah, let's go to Red Lobster. Let's go fucking. I'm like kicking out wide. Like the other Mass Effect.
Hey, you want to buy me a car?
Yeah, they were fucking kicking it out wide way sooner. Like, seriously. Like, this is like I'm 40 hours in and you can't get... Noof, you were complaining about this too, right? Like,
kicking it out wide, by the way, that's Craft's word for fucking, I guess. I guess.
Yes.
They were fucking way sooner than the other ones.
That's the radio-friendly kicking it out wide, you know what I mean? But
it's almost worse, kicking it out wide. Because then you know...
comes out and actually says what it actually is, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like... Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Like Hellheimer's favorite person is Captain Kirk, so he was always like, you know, big.
You're the Captain Kirk fan. I was a like Star Trek.
I don't know anything about Captain Kirk, man. I couldn't tell you anything about the guy.
Your display picture on PS4 is Captain Kirk. Get the fuck out
is
of
it? Is that who that is?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is, bro. It is.
It is. Huh.
Like, I picked that guy because he
was right. I remember that.
Yeah. So how did we end up back on Mass Effect when we were talking about games with gold?
Because Craft's trying to get with an alien.
Yeah, I was trying to nail that.
She's frustrated. She's holding out on him.
She is, and it's like it's taking me forever.
Talking about PB?
No, PB probably would
don't
have been
hold
easier.
out.
Yeah, Cora is a bit of a, you know, I want that crab walking bitch, man. She's like, you know, the one that's like that walks around like fucking arm.
You're putting a little too much energy into fucking.
I'm like, dude, I'm doing all the side missions to just try to get that. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to like do the.
I can just see Crap playing. He's like walking past all the chicks.
I mean, come on, at least lie and say you're trying to get the achievement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, the achievement. That's what I'm going after, guys. Come on. But I mean, just going back to this games with gold, because I do that, I segue well, and you fuckers should hit the like button because that's how good I segue this shit. Do you guys think about the possibility of a Rise 2? Sometimes Microsoft does that, right? Where they fucking will tease something, and then like, wouldn't that be a good showpiece for Xbox Scorpio? Don't you think? I mean, it looked good on Xbox One as well, but what do you guys think about that?
I think but I don't think there's any chance in hell that it's going to happen. I mean,
yeah,
like Crytek's and all that.
Damn it,
shambles,
GDB.
bro.
You know,
Dude, you said that in your video too, bro. Like,
Stop exposing crap.
I literally said the same thing in his
I
video.
know.
This podcast is ready to expose Crapgamer podcast.
I think the only way that Rise 2 actually happens is if Crytek sells the license to Microsoft and they turn it over to a third-party studio. I don't see Crytek building it or making it unless Microsoft turns around at some point and buys them, which could be an option. But they got to get their act together because they can't buy Crytek.
All their new hiring and stuff that was rumored about going on. What do you think all that's about?
Little games and stuff like they probably needed some help. I don't think it's going to be a Rise.
I mean, who says they haven't already bought the Rise IP anyway? They don't exactly announce every fucking thing they buy.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's true.
That is true. That is damn true, actually. So I mean, I would like to see one because the hack and slash genre is one that I think Microsoft could fucking definitely use.
Well, here's the question. Like, okay, let's say Microsoft buys it. What fucking studio would do it? And then at the same time, would it even be the same Rise that we had in the first game? Like,
they could use Microsoft Studios, right? I mean, that's just a big ass umbrella of a bunch of studios under one moniker.
Yeah, but I find like sometimes like some studios will do really well with an IP and some will just like fucking destroy it, and I'm just like,
who knows? I mean, you know, once again, we didn't know about their studios until the Xbox One launched. We didn't know about all their new studios until the launch of the Xbox One, and even then, you know, they could still be hiring teams under monikers like Microsoft Studios.
Yeah, Phil the X-Man Spencer, man, he could be hiring at any particular time. And you
still think
or maybe he could just be firing in the background. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
I still think Phil might have something up his sleeve for the fact that usually games take about 3 years to actually accomplish a good, decent game. And he came in at 3 years ago now, and Scorpio is releasing in his 3-year mark. So
it's supposed to be skill-bound.
Well, okay. First off, that game wasn't actually 3 years in the making. And I don't know. If I was like someone who was taking over a big company, I would think I would want to put, have someone in my back pocket or, have developers in my back pocket to where I actually wanted to bring something big, but not share it.
I actually expect there to be kind of a lull for the next year or two because, in that interview with Unlocked, he's like, hey, I've been working hard to get this Play Anywhere platform in place, UWP. It's been my goal. That's pretty much what he says. And now that we've got the foundation down, we can start reinvesting in IPs. I don't think there's any secret crazy IP that is going to come out with the launches here. I think it's going to be kind of a lull, and you're going to be happy with multiplats and what they do have, like State of Decay and Forza and stuff, running much better on their platform.
I 100% agree with you.
Hey, we already know what's
at
coming
least
out
for
this
a
year.
year or two, right?
Yeah, we already know what's coming out this year, 100%. It's going to be Sea of Thieves. It's going to be Crackdown 3. It's going to be State of Decay 2. It's going to be Forza Motorsport 7. And it's going to be probably Killer Instinct Season 4.
And Halo Wars already hit, right? So
So Halo Wars already hit. I mean, and you're going to have those probably towards the later part of the year, but those are going to be big games. And we're probably going to see a couple things. They're going to probably tease Halo 6.
Oh, yeah,
I have a distinct feeling that Rare has got another game up their sleeve. It may be like early in the process, but I got a funny feeling they got something big to throw down. Like, like they're long overdue. They got Sea of Thieves, and I know that's their cash cow. That's their primary game right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't say, look, guys, when this Sea of Thieves is out the door, we're going all in on Perfect Dark Zero or fucking Banjo-Kazooie or one of those franchises.
You remember, they've got two teams, remember? So they've got another team working on something right now.
Well, hey, just so you guys know, there is one big surprise I think we're going to see, and I'm 99% sure, and that's going to be something to do with Fable. And E3. We're not getting that this year, but I do think they're going to show a trailer or something
next year.
Feels like I've learned when not to show games too early. Here's a trailer.
Yeah. except for his games as a service. But no, look, here's the thing. Fable Legends has been officially canceled for over a year now. Yeah, so you can show some kind of, something. People, I think he realized that, people want to see that. That's what I heard too, that it would be a reboot. And I've heard that from a couple different people. And they did hire back some of the Lionhead people that are now just working under quote unquote Microsoft Studios. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, anything can happen, and I think that would make perfect sense because if you look at what was happening with that, Microsoft and Phil Spencer has parted ways with IPs that they didn't want anything to do with, like Shadowrun. He gave that IP away. That Toy Soldiers IP, he gave that IP away. He granted Twisted Pixel their fucking freedom, right? So that proves that they didn't want to have anything to do with those particular games or IPs or studios. Now, they were offered money for the Fable franchise, and they said no.
Nope.
why would you turn that down if you wanted to keep it, especially when you had no problem giving some of these away, and you would figure that it would probably still be on your platform anyway, obviously, because they're still going to work on that because Phil likes that game. And you know what I mean? I think we're going to see some kind of thing. And also, for those that don't know, according to an interview from people that was working at Lionhead, the contingency plan for Fable Legends was always, if it didn't work out, they had the assets in place for a Fable 4 or reboot or whatever. Yeah. So they still had all those look great. And so they could realistically, you probably wouldn't take them that long since they had a lot of the base shit there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I could say.
Like for me, like realistically, like I mean, Phil's already come out and he's saying like, you know, we're gonna take like more time at E3 for the games and all that kind of stuff, and that's great. But it goes back to like Dealer's point, and like I agree with him. I think it's gonna be like a rebuilding year. He's like, hey, these are the games we got. He might have like Fable, like Crap saying, and I agree. I think that's really smart. But he's just not gonna have like a ton of stuff that people are thinking that they're just gonna show off. You know, like
do you think, DKB, do you think that by allowing more time for games at E3? Do you think that basically that means we're going to get like a 10-minute gameplay demo of State of Decay or something? Kind of like more like in the Sony fashion where you get, 8 minutes, 10 minutes at a...
they're walking around doing missions and all that kind of stuff, really showing off the kind of games and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just kind of letting people get into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You also have to remember, like, they take a good chunk of their E3 to actually promote their Xbox ID games, like their indie games and their reels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they could also possibly add a little bit more into that as well, which still technically counts as games.
I know. I mean, I get. Yeah, you're right. But I think a lot of the games that they're going to be showing, like Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, I think they need the time to show those games well to get people, energized and want to go ahead and pick up these games. And I think that's really smart.
Cuphead's supposed to come out this year. Yeah. Like I'm hoping that like that's one of those games that was announced probably too early, or I don't know, like it was announced and then it got fucking super hype, and then they were like, well, we need to add more than just boss rush, so they made it into a platform more. So I get that.
Do you think there could be they could show an Ori and the Blind Forest too?
Yeah, it's called the Ori and the Night Wisps or something like that. That was that was
they were too, man. They're like hand drawing all that shit too. So it takes time, man.
Yeah, so hey, we might get an Ori sequel since they already have all that shit built up. I mean, like Phil really likes that IP, they own it or whatever. So I could see that as well. Like we might get small stuff like that.
Yeah,
you guys are forgetting one thing, and it's probably Microsoft's biggest cash cow, and I would imagine it's even bigger than Halo, and people don't really talk about it or give them credit enough for it, and that is Minecraft. And one thing about Minecraft that they were smart is they'd milk that franchise for what they can get out of it, meaning like, you know how like the Lego Dimensions games and stuff have like all of these licensed packs that go in there.
Yeah,
they need to get on board with that. They need like fucking like it's Minecraft Star Wars, where like the whole fucking thing is just Star Wars based. You know what I mean? You go in there and you build Star Wars ships, and they start doing stuff like that, man. They got a whole new revenue stream blowing out on that popular franchise.
Like Crap and I, like we were talking about that back when the podcast with the Nintendo like leaks and all that kind of stuff. We were like, yeah, that totally makes sense. Like getting those Nintendo characters and stuff in Minecraft, that would like reinvigorate.
I mean, the thing is though, Minecraft already has the skin packs and stuff on the Xbox One for like Mass Effect and that sort of
Star
thing.
Wars and everything.
Star Wars, yeah. Like the problem is that Minecraft is a great game, but it's lacking some of the abilities that would make it that would reach out to more people, right? Like,
but that's just it. Like for the average kid that's maybe picking up that game, that's a little too much work to expect them to go and take a skin and like build everything from scratch. So they basically need, whether it's DLC or it's games that come out on their own, but they're basically standardized. Minecraft this edition or that edition, like Minecraft Simpsons, Minecraft Disney, Minecraft
like with their own erector sets.
The whole like all the building blocks, the tools and skins are all based around whatever it is.
When you download,
but they have that though.
Yeah, when you download the skin packs, it has the world built in to it.
Right.
Or you can also buy them separately. Like, you can actually buy, like, say, a Halo world, or there's like Candyland worlds and stuff like that. You can actually buy worlds that are based just for you to build, or there's ones that are already made that you can actually just go and play for kids who obviously, are too young to build their own sets and stuff like that. Minecraft already has all of that.
Yeah. Okay. So they're kind of onto that thing. Well, I think there's still more things they can do with that franchise all the same.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, Minecraft can be expanded quite a bit. I mean, it's used in classrooms and stuff now. The special versions to teach computer programming and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, that was a hell of a
camp. There's a camp that kids can go to, and it's $1,000 a night just to go.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, look, go to any.
Our daughter wanted to go, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Go to any store and look at the toy aisle. Like a quarter of an aisle, at least at any store, is Minecraft.
All right, like Contro said in the chat, put a number on it, like Minecraft 2, and watch everybody just go berserk.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I've heard people go and hit that like button because we could get to 300 easy by the time this show ends. So, like, you people should definitely do that because you appreciate the content. But a lot of people are like, they need to come out with a Minecraft sequel, blah, blah, blah. But why would they when they're raking in the cash with this?
No,
I mean,
here's the thing, right? A Minecraft sequel, because I've been used to playing Minecraft when it came out with beta PC, right? Like, or alpha, actually. And the thing is that if you make any kind of sequel or make any kind of thing like that, it basically ruins the community or how it's set up and what makes the money on that, right?
Well, I also want to add that when it comes to Minecraft, though, they actually kind of built their own form of sequels. Like, they have their story modes where it's like a whole nother game that's added on. So, again, they already have that kind of concept as well. You can buy separate games that are actually Minecraft related.
Yeah,
so,
and there's nothing else to add to it because they do, weekly on PC if you're at the alpha or the betas, or pretty much monthly on consoles, new content and everything.
Yeah, well, you can also even buy like watch wristband things that you can actually take your game when you leave and you wear it as a watch. Like, they have so much to that they're not going to bring out like just say a whole nother game for like a 2 when they're already, like I said, they're already branching off with like stories and stuff like that to give them their sequel type base game.
Yeah, Minecraft isn't going anywhere. That's the thing. That's why Microsoft bought it. I mean, honestly.
Well, yeah. It's like, I mean, that's a fucking super IP. That game sold 20 million on the 360.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, that is like
I own 4 copies of the game. I got the Xbox One version, I got the 360 version, I got the Windows 10 version, and I've got the standard, like the cross-platform, like Java version before Microsoft bought it.
I got the zero.
Madness on Twitter says Minecraft 2 in 16-bit. I mean, would that work? Do you think they could do a 16-bit version?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, at what expense would that add to it, though, right? Like, people like the game because it's simple and it's easy to get into. Like, upgrading the graphics or doing anything to it. Look, right now it does so well because on the PC side, literally you can build anything that you bought in the past 7 years or run Minecraft okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not a big Minecraft fan as far as like Minecraft, like the actual game itself.
Oh, I used to have a server for a long time.
I like Minecraft story mode. I thought that was pretty fucking sweet. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like those Telltale games, but I guess I'm weird like that. GameStop is closing a bunch of stores.
I don't like.
Did anybody not see that coming?
That's kind of sad for people losing their jobs, obviously. Like, nobody wants to see anyone lose their jobs. But when it comes to used stores like that, people are mainly buying digital. And it's just, or online. I actually said a lot of this on the Console Corner, where people are choosing to buy and order things online because one, you can get it cheaper through Amazon, eBay, and all these other places. So people don't need to actually go to the stores and, buy things anymore.
Well, it's called competition, and if GameStop gave people enough reason to actually say, fuck it, I'm not going to buy digital anymore because they're going to give me better trade-in value, then they wouldn't be having this problem. They just need to come up with a way to combat this. I know it's going to be really hard, the hardest thing they've ever had to do, but it is possible. We all know why we don't like GameStop. There's tons of problems. Their customer service sucks. And like I said, and like you said, like even if you talk about it, people are like, "How is this good?" Like people are losing their jobs, and it's like, calm the fuck down. Like we're not saying it's good or that people are losing their jobs. We're saying though that GameStop definitely is probably one of the crappiest companies we've all had to deal with, right?
I mean, look, this happened and it's opening the market up to allow third-party companies to get a bigger market share in local areas. It's allowing basically say, hey, people are tired of getting kind of ripped off for bringing stuff in, right? Like, I mean, any day of the week you can go into a GameStop and watch people bring in a box full of games and walk out with one game.
Well, it is like all based on supply and demand. Their main problem, is they're fighting the ultimate challenge in digital. It's just too convenient, and console sales, in terms of like a lot of these deals and discounts, they're finally catching up to the PC side, like on Steam a lot, right? Yeah. So they're getting a lot of good deals and sales digitally, and it's just competition. Like I said, it's going to be by far the hardest thing they've ever had to deal with, and I don't think they're going to survive.
Yeah, I've noticed on the Canadian portion of their website, EB Games, which is obviously owned by GameStop, they do have this thing on the trade I noticed now where it says all your games or every game or something now is worth like $10. So they're raising, it seems like, at least the minimum limit. So a step in the right direction if they keep it, because I remember trading games before that. I'm not kidding. I remember one time I paid, I don't know, it was like a full price game, I'm pretty sure, and I brought it back several months later, and I don't even think I got like $5 for it, and I was like, what the hell? Because especially if it had like sports games in particular, like you can go in and pay $60 for Madden, and like 6 months later before the new one comes out or whatever, it's like they're giving you a dick squat for it. Yeah, they have hundreds of those on the shelf. You know what I mean? It's like you walk in right now, you'll get a Assassin's Creed, Unity, Destiny, a few games that some of the CODs now where they're like so many trades on those games, you get nothing for them.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that like that's obviously based on like the popularity of that stuff as well, but it's just like it's such an issue really with like if you go in there and you buy a used game, even if it's a game that released in the past week, $54.99 isn't enough of a discount for me to go in there and have to deal with somebody else's problems. Exactly. You know, like if and again, like, and the thing is, they're only giving people like $15 on a trade-in on a game that's new. Anyways, that's the problem. It's the newer games that's killing it. It's like you go in there with a brand new game and they give you $25 back or $30 for it, and then they go and sell it for $54. They know they're going to sell that game because it just came out, you know, with the past 30 days. They should be selling it for about $40 used.
No, I agree. Like if for a $5 difference in a game, especially new to use, I would never take the used copy. That's just me. Because I want to support the industry, and by buying them used, I'm just supporting them and not supporting the game people. And and the only times that I have with used games, it's sometimes when they actually make like price mistakes. Have you ever gone into like a GameStop and like you'll see a bunch of games on the shelf and they're like say $34.99, but there's one copy of the same game you're looking for in that same title, but it's all of a sudden it was like $10.99 because somebody in the store screwed up and priced it wrong. So like something like that, I would probably be like, okay, like this game is going to cost you $40 extra new, or I can get it for this. Then I might, but that's a rare circumstance.
For the price screw ups. That's how I got my last copy of the new Skylanders game, because it was like $14.99 at Toys R Us by mistake instead of $49.99, and I was like, yep.
What's crazy is we talk about the $54.99 bullshit and save another $3 if you have a power-up membership. Yeah, we talk about that, but that little bit of money, that $5, is enough for 9 out of 10 assholes to go ahead and buy it used.
Yeah,
that's the real insult.
Yeah.
Well, and also, like, I remember one time what GameStop did. This was before we had Battleborn digitally. Again, Battleborn, right? They had the collector's edition there for like $8 or something. So Hellhammer goes, "Oh, I'll get that," and he takes it up there and he goes, "Oh, sorry, we don't have that."
Why the hell did you have it on the shelf then? Like they literally just cleared the shelves.
You didn't bring that game up. I noticed this retail store down the street has some games, and they have like copies from Battleborn for PS4 and Xbox One for $10 brand new. Yes or no?
Well,
is it worth $10?
Well, I haven't played it yet.
I've played it. I've played it. Do you like Overwatch?
Never played Overwatch.
Okay, well, I would say it's a cross between Overwatch and Smite. I don't know if you played Smite, but it's a cross between Overwatch, Smite, and Borderlands.
Realistically though, at $10, almost any game
just
is worth
YouTube it and watch gameplay of it.
Yeah, almost any game except for Drive Club or Knack is worth $10.
Yeah, those are the exceptions. It's like you go in there and they have a list of games for $10. And you buy them all, but then it's like Knack and Drive Club. You're like, yeah, I could pass.
You'll buy all the copies of Godzilla as long as it's $10.
I have Godzilla. I bought that shit on PS4 when it was on sale for like $6.99.
I remember your review on that, bro.
Yeah, just to fucking review it because I thought it'd be funny. And that game is horrible. It looks like a PS2 game. And that was one of those fucking games that was in their list. Like those Sony fanboys.
Yeah, that was like the day on my list.
Don't see the fanboys talking about that game, do we?
Yeah, they're like, hey, look, they're like, we got Tropico 5, we've got Godzilla, we've got, I shit you not, that's the fucking list. They're like, we've got this, we've got that. I mean, right now,
half that shit came to Xbox One already, including Tropico 5.
It's like even now, right? Like, how many times have you heard? Oh, we had Yakuza, we had Gravity Rush 2, we had Nihon.
It's all third-party Japanese games, and without those, those were on both platforms because none of those are just dedicated exclusives. Like we'll never come out with it for any other console, right? They haven't said that for games like Yakuza and Nioh and all that, right? Yeah. So if those came out on both platforms, we would actually have more games over here.
Yeah. But they don't do it, and then people act like that's Microsoft's fault. Microsoft actually got a good amount of those, like some of those Personas and shit. I think on 360, right? I think you can get one of them. Like that game's getting shoved up people's asses right now. They're like, look at this, a 94 Metacritic. I'm like, cool, it'll sell 94 copies. Great. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna buy it. Nobody cares. Like, and they don't. In America, anyway. Like those games score well. All those Persona games have scored well, but nobody's gonna buy them here. Nobody gives a shit. Like, I mean, I'm sorry to sound so blunt.
I mean, I'm not gonna buy it. Are you? I mean,
no, fuck no.
It's like, no, you're just mad because you can't. Oh, you can play it? Okay, you don't give a shit.
This guy in the chat makes a good point. Sony's list looks like a bunch of shitty bootleg DVDs.
No, I agree. Look, hey, anybody that fucking enjoys that kind of shit, hey, good on you. But for me personally, I don't give two shits about any of those goddamn games.
PS4 right now, bro, is the best console for Japanese games, bar none.
Yeah, bar none. If you want Japanese games, go Iron Pony and fucking grab one and like flip out and go nuts. Have fun. Right? Yeah, like that's like do whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's your thing. That's fine. But to me, I don't like those type of games. I could play them. The only game that Xbox fans were jealous of was Horizon Zero Dawn. You don't see them clamoring going, oh, fuck, I really wish I could play that Persona or Yakuza or Nihon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really see that.
They're like, what the fuck is Yakuza or fucking Persona?
Yeah, fucking Yakuza 0. Like, nobody bought that shit.
I'm telling you right now, I'm enjoying Mass Effect Andromeda 100 times more than Horizon Zero Dawn right now.
Yeah, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Horizon Zero Dawn was a choice.
I know more is better and they can get both over there. I'm just saying I got Horizon and I'm not playing it at all because
to be fair, there's a good percentage of those JRPGs on the PC side too. Just scroll through Steam once.
Hey, I want to say something else. That fucking in the UK, right? That Nier Automata game came out. It came out just recently, right? And last week, mind you, Forza Motorsport 5, Rise Son of Rome. I shit you not. Outsold that game.
Are you
outsold that game last week? Yes.
Forza Motorsport 5.
Your Automata sold less than 12 copies last week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I mean it was
Forza
like
5 from 2013.
Forza 5, yes.
Nobody buys old Forza games. Everyone knows nobody buys old Forza games. Nobody.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does her swords fucking not attached to her back? They float in the fucking air. What's up with that shit?
What's
She's
that?
Japanese. She got
a fucking blindfold on. She got swords that float in the fucking air. They're not even attached to her back. Like, what the hell kind of kinetic bullshit is that? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
All the Japanese games are really weird and wonky like that. You know.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I mean, look.
If you like it, more power to you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm all for Microsoft bringing more content to the Xbox One or Xbox Scorpio or whatever, but I'm not going to sweat those games because I'm not going to buy them. Like I remember, like when I would complain about, I know we're like 2 hours in, and I'm going to wrap it up here in a minute, but when everybody was like, you know, crap, you should really go to bat for getting these Japanese games on the Xbox One, and I'm like, look, I just don't care about those games enough to go to bat for them. Like if they're added, cool, but they're not going to affect me one way or the other because I could play any of those games on the PS4.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, I play what I want to play. It's such a bad thing to be looked at as an American, I guess, but I like more American-centric games that appeal to me. Imagine that. You know what I mean?
Western style, like even European developed titles, you know?
Yeah. So, and I don't think anything's wrong with that. Like, if you like that kind of stuff, great. There is that's why probably owning multiple consoles is good. But for me, the PS4 will never be a main console for me.
Isn't it weird, bro? How they'll be like, how don't you like these weird Japanese games? And then the Halo Wars 2, I don't like that shit. Like, they will do the same shit and then wonder why you don't like their games, and they're just talking shit on Halo Wars 2 because they don't like that. It's the same shit.
Yeah, exactly. I have two more topics, kind of Nintendo topics. Nintendo, they upped their Switch production to 20 million this year. That's fucking insane. Yep. I know, dealer, you probably don't give two shits about that, but I did think that was interesting, and they're going to hold a traditional E3. Like, look, I know, look, I missed the regular.
So now they're going to come back to E3. They like us again. Like, they're going to come back to fucking E3 again. Yeah, Nintendo, you ran away for the past several years. Fuck off.
Well, they had the Wii U. What were you going to do? Like, hey,
try for one. You could try. You could do that. You could try for the people that bought your fucking piece of shit day one. You know, they just put it out there and abandoned the fucking thing. And they made the same mistake again with third-party content. I'm just done with Nintendo, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing the same mistake, too, this round. I mean, nobody's going to put anything out on that thing because the cartridges are too damn expensive.
It's gonna be a fucking indie handheld. Like I've already seen the list, and like half the stuff that's there is just like shit we've already played on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. It's just fucking...
The list of the games, aside from that Mario game, which I think looks like garbage, that new one, and
blasphemy,
and Breath of the Wild, the rest of the list of the games look worse than games that are coming out on the 3DS or that are already out on the 3DS. So
blasphemy,
what's the point?
However, what the fuck, dude?
And they charge you more.
Hey, did you see? Like, maybe Microsoft has some kind of deal with Battlefront. Like, I don't know for sure, but Aaron Greenberg tweeted out, "I'm already dreaming of what Battlefront 2 will look and play like on Project Scorpio."
He said that about Destiny too.
That fucker.
Did he say that about Destiny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. But
shit, somebody's got to. At least he's talking on Xbox and not PC, right?
Yeah. Major Nelson was like red leader or something like that. So some people are speculating, but again, Microsoft is always like pimping up other people's shit. So who fucking knows? At least that Switch shit died down a little bit, right?
That's because they're
allowed to talk about that shit, right? They're allowed to talk about it.
It's gonna come back at E3, bro. They're gonna
they ran out of the one game to play on the Switch, so that's
Battlefront. I got PlayStation.
I got Mario Kart prepaid. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Mario Kart. That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. That is what is up. Hell yeah, nuke 'em. Anyway. It's been a hell of a show, man. We appreciate you guys rocking out with us. Go ahead and hit that like button before we send you guys off on your way. Very close to 300 likes. I would appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. GKB, what do you got going on, bro?
What's up, bro? We took a week off, man. I was just kind of burnt out and just needed some time away. So we're gonna get back into the swing of things, making a whole bunch of videos, doing all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going on with the Shop podcast, but hopefully I'll be on there this Saturday and back.
Yeah, I saw some of that. Yeah, like the other week. Yeah, it was good to see him back on there and doing that show. So, hey, man, you got burnt out. Imagine having people go, "You're fat, Crap Gamer. You fatty."
Oh, that's not burning you out, bro. It's just you do fucking 15 videos a day, bro. I don't know how you do it, man.
No, it's crazy. She-Wolf, what do you got going on? Some kind of great things or something? I don't know. I heard you weren't gaming much lately, so I know you guys did some Destiny last night, but
wow. I take a week off and people say I don't game. Like, if I take a step back from things, I take a step back. I don't just like half-ass it.
You fraud.
I know. I know. Hey, okay. In my defense, when we started this year, I was literally going from like start to finish of like a game every single week because of the videos I was doing and stuff. I literally had no break in between the videos I was doing. So no, I had to take a break. But other than that, you can just find me on Twitter and Xbox at XSheWolfX with a U, not an O. And of course, join us on Discord. It's always fun. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys got a Discord. It's always pretty rocking in there. I always drop some funny
gifs.
Yeah,
Gamers knows best.
Yeah, Millhouse every time, bro.
Yeah, I dropped the Millhouse gifs.
I'm running around in circles.
Yeah, it's funny, or the lonely Millhouse ones. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like I think Millhouse is funny. If I had to say that I was like a combination of characters from like cartoons, I would always say that I'm a cross between Bill Dotree from what the hell is that show? King of the Hill. Him, nice. Mo Sizlak, and a little bit of Millhouse and a little bit of Homer. I'm a mix of those four, and that's kind of me. Bro. I know, right? Yeah. I know that's true though. Like I'm a mix of all those guys in a certain way or whatever. So yeah, Hellhammer, what the hell do you got going on, Dothan?
Yeah, pretty much. Be back on here next week on Xbox Nation. Otherwise, you can find me on Xbox Live, XX Space Hellhammer, or at XX Hellhammer on Twitter.
You can also find him making fun of frauds with me on Twitter.
Yeah, I noticed he was piling on against a particular guy that goes, "Hey guys."
Sometimes you gotta smack a bitch, you know. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta.
I hear you. I hear you. And yeah, especially that dude who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, it was so funny watching that. I sent that GIF where I was like, finish him, because
I sent
it done. Himself. He's like the Drive Club developers, man.
Yeah, I watched that conversation go on for like 3 hours, and I was like, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna jump into it. And I couldn't help myself. So.
I mean, if you would, like, there were so many people that jumped in and like destroyed that guy. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So what do you got going on, dealer, man? I space dealer, I.
Aside from arguing with crack babies on Twitter occasionally, you can find me at Twitter if you want to participate and maybe join in the fun at dealer_gaming. Obviously, check out today's video. Very interesting video I did today. And also follow me on Xbox Live at II space dealer space II.
Hell yeah. And then we've got
I added 3 more I's to it. So.
And we've got the Canadian Nuka. What do you got going on,
I just
bro?
wanted to tell you that Nufa's not going to close the show here. I'm going to do it. And I want to tell you all, thanks for joining us here tonight. Make sure you come back next Wednesday, same time, same place. Bring your mother, bring your friends, bring your dog, your cat. Get ready to talk video games, because that's how we do it. Let's go. Great show. Make sure you follow the rest of the panel. They're fucking amazing. Arnold out.
And you hate Legend of Zelda. You hate the new Zelda game too, right, Arnold?
Goddamn stick breaking simulator. What the fuck is
that? And he runs out of breath as easy as Crapgamer in real life. Takes a couple steps. He's like,
fucking stamina was so terrible. He almost died eating a donut in the game. What the hell?
Thank you guys so much. Hey, those of you who are watching, man, make sure you hit that little bell icon as well, because that gives you updates whenever I got content drop. Because what happens is, if you don't hit that, you don't get notified of every piece of content, and I do so much that you're probably missing quite a bit. I hear that sometimes. They're like, I didn't even know you had a video. Well, my videos usually release at noon Eastern, usually then at between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern, and then 1 a.m. Eastern time. That's usually how it works. So
and then 2 and then 3 a.m.
Yeah, and then there's like the 4:30 a.m. one, and then the 5,
and then the 4:45, just in case some people didn't.
Yeah, just to cover that last little piece of news. Yeah, so yeah, make sure you guys all check that out and subscribe and check out these awesome people on the panel as well. Thank you guys. Be good to one another, huh? And go kick it out wide with the alien chick in Mass Effect, because it'll be worth it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next week. Yes, try. It's harder in that game than real life. I'm just gonna say that.
Time to fuck.
Back in life.